I think there can be some strange turns during the playoff, and we're ready. We're ready for football. For Robin Roberts and Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching the regular season finale of NFL Primetime. But are you ready for some football? The Jets can get in. They can make the playoffs if they beat the Houston Oilers and stop them from their 11th straight win. Mike and Joe on the call from the Dome. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Chris. This is the Astrodome in Houston, Texas. Tonight we'll reveal the final piece in the NFL playoff puzzle. Because today in the AFC, the Miami Dolphins lost their 5th straight as the Patriots upset them in overtime 33-27. That means the Jets control their own destiny. A win tonight gives them a wild card berth in the playoffs. It's the New York Jets and the Houston Oilers on Sunday Night NFL.
As far as getting as low as we were at 1-4, I think it brought us closer together as a team because all we really had to feed off of each other to turn this thing around was each other.
From adversity rose an unprecedented streak of success. The Oilers won 8 straight and then defeated Pittsburgh to clinch the division. Then last week, the big victory in San Francisco.
We feel like we can win anywhere because we're playing with confidence, we're playing with emotion, and we're playing together as a team.
The question remains, can the new breed of Oiler vanquish the ghosts of playoff failures past?
The confidence is there, the aggressiveness is there, the belief in ourselves is there. It's a totally different team.
The AFC playoff picture as it stands right now. The Bills get a week off and have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Houston also gets a rest, and they will host a second-round game. Kansas City will host a wild card game next week. If the Jets win, they play at Kansas City, and Denver will be at the Raiders. But if the Jets lose, Pittsburgh goes to Kansas City, and Denver visits the LA Raiders. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann. It's great to have you with us. The Jets got the break they had to have today to stay alive in the playoffs as Miami loses in overtime. Now it's up to the Jets to clinch that last spot for themselves. Frankly, it's something they could have done weeks ago, but the offense took December off. During that span, they averaged 7 points a game, and tonight they'll be facing what Bruce Coughlin says is the best defense in the NFL.
Well, Mike, you know, they actually did play better against the Buffalo Bills in their last game. Although they only scored 14 points, they feel like their offense is back on track. But for the Jets to be successful tonight, the offensive line is going to have to give Boomer Esiason an opportunity to sit in that pocket and find the big plays that he knows he can get against that Oiler defense. You know, it's a simple formula, Mike. I got to be honest with you. No points, no playoffs for the Jets.
That's for sure. The Oilers don't have to worry about the playoffs. They took care of that a while back. But what they do have to be concerned about is going with backup quarterback Cody Carlson because Warren Moon will rest the rib tonight. Also, they can get a spot in franchise history with their 12th victory and finish the season with 11 wins in a row. Nobody has done that since the '72 Dolphins. But you don't even talk about the run and shoot around here anymore because they've added so many other dimensions.
No, and 2 dimensions they've added are very interesting. They've added a consistent running game and a big play defense. Since Gary Brown took over for the offense at running back 7 games ago, Houston has averaged over 140 yards rushing, and he had 5 100-yard games himself. But the big difference in this team is Buddy Ryan's defense. They've forced 33 turnovers and 37 sacks in the last 10 games. Buddy has his unit playing with a lot of intensity and toughness, just like a Super Bowl team. As a matter of fact, it's just what Buddy told everybody he'd do when he came here to Houston.
Jack Pardee has done a superb job bringing this team back, especially under the circumstances that have surrounded this club since the major collapse last year. Bruce Kozlet in his 4th year with a chance to take his team back to the playoffs with a victory in the last regular season game, just as he did in 1991. Rob Moore inactive for the Jets. That's a big blow to them because he is their leading receiver with 64 catches. Al Del Greco will kick off for the Oilers. Adrian Morrell and Blair Thomas are deep. And they are sky high here in the Dome. You'd think their playoff was on the line.
Well, you know, it's good to have the Oilers feel this way and their fans behind them because they don't want to hit a lull at the end of the season. The other thing I think is good is that the Jets have an opportunity to put their offense out on the field. And if they're successful and can manage some movement against this Oiler defense, Mike, it's going to give them a lot of confidence.
Thomas from the 7. Did not get back to the 20-yard line. Boomer Esiason has answered all the questions about his arm. He's over 3,000 yards for the 7th time in his career, completing 62%. Johnny Johnson turned out to be a great trade. He's caught more passes than any Jet back in 1 year and is 6th in the AFC in rushing. Jim Sweeney, the veteran up front, he may be the best pass blocker in a group that has allowed only 15 sacks low in the NFL. Terrence Mathis will start a 1 wide receiver in Moore's spot. Johnson dragging tacklers out to the 25-yard line. Take a look at the Houston defense. Another start in the Pro Bowl for Ray Childress. He's the relentless core of a front line that's been devastating this year. Al Smith, a Pro Bowl alternate after being a starter for 2 seasons in that game. As usual, he leads the Oilers in tackles. The Oiler pressure defense has helped create 25 interceptions. Chris Dishman has 6 of them. That matches a career high. Brad Baxter in the backfield for the Jets. Baxter straight up the middle. Has the first down out to about the 33-yard line. Blaine Bishop, the rookie, came up to make the tackle.
You know, Mike, this is a very difficult defense to prepare for because what Buddy Ryan likes to do is he likes to change fronts a lot. He likes to give you a lot of different looks. So all week, what you've seen in the weeks before, you're probably not going to see. And so every card they put up, you may see that in the first quarter, and then you're going to see it again. Now you have a chance to see what Boomer Esiason sees. That's Bo Orlando in the middle at safety. The defensive linemen waiting for Boomer to make his calls, and then they'll get themselves set.
What he'll see a lot of tonight is about 8 guys in his face. Keep it on the ground with Johnson, and Al Smith, the middle linebacker, met him at the 35, gain of maybe 2. And pushing and shoving. A minute and 38 seconds into the first quarter, and there's a flag down.
We have offsetting personal fouls. 96 on the defense, 69 on the offense. They offset. Second down.
Sean Jones and Jeff Criswell.
Mike, this is what the Jets are going to have to do offensively. They put hat on a player and allow Johnny Johnson to cut back. What's going to be very important for them are what's called the offside blocks, allowing him to cut back and not allow that Houston defense, the defense to cut across and make the tackle.
2nd and 7 for New York. Johnson. They'll bring up about 3rd and 5, and obviously the Jets would like to keep the pressure off of Boomer early. Sean Jones in on that last stop. And if you can run against these guys, at least you can slow down that withering pass rush. Baxter and Johnson in there together. Here come the Oilers. Boomer unloads, almost intercepted, then caught at the sideline. Mathis makes the grab for a first down. There's flags down everywhere.
Offside, 57, defense. First down.
Lamar Lathan.
The key to Buddy Ryan's defense is he wants somebody, and that's going to be Lamar Lathan. He wants somebody running free at the quarterback if he's going to blitz. There you see a free runner. Just comes flying. You had him from one side and a back from the other side. This is just great concentration by Terrence Mathis. Just terrific concentration.
Mathis with his 21st catch of the season. Baxter will be the single setback first down for the Jets. Chain gang a little slow moving the sticks. They took the play, which gained 6 instead of the offside penalty, which would have been 5. Dyson with time to throw this time, floats it down the middle. And wasn't within 5 yards of Johnny Mitchell, who was the closest Jet to it.
Buddy Ryan's defense has started to play with a lot more intensity since Wilbur Marshall came back off of his injury. And it's very interesting, when you talk to Buddy Ryan, he credits Wilbur Marshall with an awful lot of the success of this defensive unit on the field. He says they've got me in meetings and on the sideline. They've got Wilbur to deal with on the field. You can bet they're going to get it right because both of us are going to be on him.
And Sean Jones has gotten on him this year, too, as a defensive captain. On 2nd and 10, Johnson drilled by Michael Barrow as he got to the line of scrimmage. The hand-picked draft choice of Buddy Ryan out of Miami.
And the thing that Michael Barrow brings is enthusiasm and an emotional intensity to this defense that they needed. There he is over here sneaking out. He's going to come right in and fill that void. They give you so many different looks. You see the linemen of the Jets really don't know who to hit. They just got to figure out somebody and fill a void.
3rd and 10. Here comes everybody, and Boomer throws short of Mitchell.
We talked about it before. Buddy Ryan wants a free runner at his quarterback. There comes Terry Hogue. He's sneaking. He's going to shoot that gap right unblocked. Boomer's literally got a free runner right in his face, and you're not going to get a lot of completions with that.
And Terry Hogue, virtually brand new to this team, but not this defense because he played for Buddy in Philadelphia.
He jumped right in as soon as the acquisition was made when Robinson got hurt, and has done a terrific job.
Louis Aguiar, who has had a terrible year as a punter, will be kicking to Willie Drury. Bad snap. Aguiar comes up with it and gets off a beauty. Drury signals fair catch and makes it at the 17-yard line. Remember, the rule on catching punts is different in the NFL. You can get very close to someone if you don't screen his face.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by the Lee Apparel Company. With regular, relaxed, and loose-fit jeans and casual pants, Lee is the brand that fits. By Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. And by the United States Marine Corps. You have to be tough to compete, but smart to win.
0-0 with 11:05 to go first quarter in a playoff atmosphere from Houston. Gary Brown. Joe talked about the added running game that he has given this club. Look at this, 115 yards per start.
Coming into tonight, he had 915 yards rushing in 7 games. He could literally be a 1,000-yard rusher in what amounts to about a half a season of work. Now that is one great job.
He only had 16 carries the entire first half of the year. Carlson to throw on first down. He throws incomplete to Jeffries. Take a look at the Houston offense. Cody Carlson getting the 14th start of his 7-year career. He directed a game-preserving drive against the 49ers last week. Gary Brown, one of the year's great stories, from nowhere, starting 7 times and 4th in the AFC in rushing with 917 yards. Bruce Matthews has been voted to his 6th Pro Bowl. He'll be the starting center for the 2nd year in a row after 3 straight years starting at guard. And Warren Moon, 2 weeks ago, he broke a rib, aggravated it last week. They will give him a rest this week. He is the 3rd quarterback this season. Brown stays on his feet for about 4 across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And a lot of pushing and shoving early. That's Doug Dawson out there against James Hasty. Take a look at the Jets defense. Jeff Lageman isn't 100% physically, but he still leads the club with a half-dozen sacks, and at 266 is strong enough to stop the run. Mo Lewis is a rising star. After moving to the weak side last year, he's been able to showcase his speed and power. Ronnie Lott may have lost some of his cover skills, but he still impacts the game. Just ask the receivers who come over the middle. Pete Carroll, the defensive coordinator for the Jets. They are so grateful to have an opportunity tonight to make the playoffs, and they have to make the most of it. 3rd and 6. Carlson throws complete to Gary Wellman. At the 30, it's a first down, and hasn't Wellman made a difference?
Gary Wellman has made a difference. When I talked to Kevin Gilbride, their offensive coordinator, he told me that right now, Gary Wellman is being their most productive receiver. Cody's going to slide to the right, looks down the field. Wellman just hangs out on the sidelines, knows exactly where the stick is, and makes the play.
He's replacing Webster Slaughter, who injured a knee. Slaughter was the leading receiver, had 77 catches, was having a brilliant year. Brown picks his way out to the 34-yard line.
Tonight's interesting for Cody Carlson. The reason why is the Oilers want to get him some work, but he's got a groin problem that he hurt in New England quite a while back, aggravated it last Friday in practice on a muddy field, and literally tore it some more. Kevin Gilbride would love to see him go the game. If not, they will put Bucky Richardson in. There's Warren on the left, Kevin on the left of Warren, and Bucky on the right.
2nd and 5. Carlson to Wellman, who is pasted. Lonnie Young, and then push and shove on the ground. Lonnie Young coming back from a devastating knee injury.
You know, Mike, you come in here to play the Houston Oilers with their touted defense and the nasty nature that they play with. It makes the other guys on the other side of the ball get their dander up a little bit. Cody drops back. Now watch the hit. Wellman makes a turn. Young just plants his helmet right in his face, and now he's trying to wrestle the ball away from him, just to let him know that it's not going to be an easy evening in that secondary.
Well, with Young and Lott back there, forget it. 3rd and a yard for the Oilers. Brown. And appeared to have the first down. In years past, 3rd and 1 is a passing down for the Houston Oilers. Gary Brown has changed that.
Well, that's a little bit why the production of the wide receivers are down. I mean, Curtis Duncan, one of the wide receivers, has 36 catches, had 82 last year. Haywood Jeffries has 65 catches this year, had 90 last year.
Mike Munchak not playing tonight. They hope to get him some playing time. He has terrible knees, arthritis in both of them. Was just named to his 9th Pro Bowl. That's only one more Pro Bowl than knee operations. He's had 8 of those. Carlson to Duncan. And Duncan taken out of bounds to the 48-yard line.
You know, I talked to Ronnie live yesterday, and I asked him, I said, what's the key against the run and shoot? He says, we've got to pound the wide receivers. Got to pound them if they catch it, and they're certainly doing that tonight. The other thing is we have to keep everything in front of us, which translates in this game to don't give up the big plays. And that's the key, I think, for the Jets. Make the Oilers be patient.
Legend has it he's hit guys hard enough to knock off their fingerprints.
It's true. Trust me. I can attest to that. I've been one of them.
2nd and 2. Brown on the delay. Very close to another first down. Kyle Clifton was in on the tackle. Kyle Clifton having another terrific year. One of these guys that is seemingly replaced at the beginning of every camp. You know, who's going to take Kyle Clifton's job this year? Somehow he hangs on to it, seems to play better as he gets older.
The thing about him, too, is you can't really take Mo Lewis off the field. You can't take Kyle Clifton off the field. So the way the Jets want to match up against the 4 wide receivers of the Oilers is they'll play normally 5 defensive backs and Clifton and Lewis as the linebackers. That way they're balanced against the run as well as the pass.
And that's part of being more physical, too, because they want their bigger guys in there to lay licks on the running backs and the wide receivers. Jets get a fresh set of downs with the Oilers do with 6:54 to go first quarter.
Everybody talks about Coach of the Year here, Coach of the Year there. Certainly Dave Wannstedt deserves it, Dan Reeves, but Jack Pardee is certainly a guy who's held a lot of egos in check for an entire season.
Gets my vote in this conference. You're right. Who would have believed? 1 and 4. Carlson with time. Duncan couldn't pull it in. Had to turn over his outside shoulder and couldn't make the catch.
Still, Mike, that's what really I think is going to hurt the Houston Oilers in the playoffs if they can't get more production out of their wide receivers. They just don't have the speed outside to challenge deep. Here's a case where Duncan's up on top, and that ball just floats down, and it's just a question of not being able to judge it and adjust to it.
Marcus Turner beaten by a step on the corner. This drive's already taken 4.5 minutes off the clock. Started at the 17-yard line. Carlson to Brown. Screen. And he lost his balance and went down at the 45. Had 3 blockers in front of him.
That was a really big play for him last week against the San Francisco 49ers. And it is their featured screenplay. Basically, they just let the outside guy rush. Gary slides out underneath them. They get the 4 linemen out in front, and he just picks his way. He's got great feet. That time they weren't so great. Got a little stuck to the ground.
This will bring up a 3rd and 6 just inside the Jets' 45-yard line. Comes the blitz. Carlson unloads, complete to Roman, first down. Mo Lewis made the tackle.
When you go after the Houston Oiler offense, right part of your screen, Cody reads the blitz. See, Washington dropped back into coverage. Didn't matter. Wellman just slid underneath it for the pickup and the first down.
Another little guy, 5'9", 168. Carlson with a double clutch. And gets near the 30-yard line. Probably doesn't want to have to do that with that bad groin pull.
No, plus not only can he move with his legs, but you see him get up a little shaky. Any kind of hit you take jars that groin. You hit the ground, it jars it. Then somebody hits you and hits the ground, it jars it more. Kevin Gilbride certainly wants to have Cody play this game, but he sort of left it up to Cody. He said, listen, if you feel like you can't go, come to me. But I've never known a football player go to a coach and say, take me out.
If this had meant home field advantage for the Oilers, the likelihood is Warren Moon would have been the starting quarterback and probably played the whole game if he could. And Carlson is now going to signal for a timeout. Play clock was down to 1. 0-0, first quarter from the Dome. Back in a moment. Guard being attended to on the sideline. And the Oilers a little thin up front. Kevin Donnelly, backup tackle, will now go in and play right guard, at least during this sequence. Mike Munchak already out with the bad knees. He struggled with them all year long.
Eric Norgard, number 64, is playing his position, another backup.
2nd and 4 for the Oilers. This is their opening possession. Brown on the draw. Slipped the tackle, got down to the 25, and has another first down. He seems to be so tough to bring down.
Well, he's got such great feet, Mike. He really does. He's got these little quick feet that he doesn't get them high off the ground, so if you get a shot at him, you don't need a big hole. Bruce Matthews right in the middle. He's going to make the block. Gary's going to come up inside and just dance. See, Matthews just gets, all he has to do is get a body in front of people. That time it's Bill Pickell. He just stands him up, and Gary runs off him.
14th play of the drive coming up. It's consumed more than 7 minutes off the clock. Comes the blitz. Carlson with time, had it tipped, and it's incomplete. Crowd wanted interference, but it won't be because the pass was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
You know what that is? That's a great job by the officiating crew. The official that saw the interference throws the flag. That's his job.
That's right.
The official standing there at the line of scrimmage sees Mo Lewis get his hand up. Watch 57. He's rushing. Now he sees Cody throw. He gets the hand up, ticks it. So the official runs to the other one and says, nope, it was tipped. And it's just a great job of teamwork officiating right there. There's the tip. There's the contact. But it doesn't matter.
Hasty just came over and did the job. There's Mo Lewis. 2nd and 10. Carlson wanted the screen. It's not there. And he gets out of bounds after picking up a couple.
He is really hurting too, Mike. You can see Cody go to the side. The worst thing about a groin injury is not running, it's trying to stop. When you stop and put the foot down, it really causes problems. See, he backs out. He's fine. Now he gets the pressure. Lagerman doing a great job. It's okay running. Watch when he gets to the sidelines now. Boy. That's when it hurts, when you have to pull up and try and stop. I'd be surprised if he plays the whole football game tonight. I really would.
3rd and 7 for Houston. Deep down the middle, wide open, touchdown given. Strike to Ernest Givens for his 4th touchdown catch of the year.
What you have to do is, if you're going to work the middle of the field, you got to get the safety out. There's Ronnie Lott. He's going to get him out of the middle, and he's going to throw the ball to this side. There goes Lott. He's out of the picture. All he did was read Carlson's eyes, and he just went too far.
Al Del Greco for the point after. He's having a terrific year. And the Oilers go 16 plays in 8 minutes to take a 7-0 lead. Ernest Givens celebrating on the sideline, and why not? His touchdown catch gives the Oilers a 7-0 lead on a very impressive drive that took more than 8 minutes off the clock. Del Greco to kick to Morrell and Thomas. This game means nothing but history for the Houston Oilers. It means everything for the New York Jets.
Means an opportunity to play again next week.
And talking to the Jets last night, they were very upset that they had allowed themselves to end up in this position. Thomas from the 2. Out near the 30-yard line. Good starting position for the Jets. They are down 7-0 first quarter. Jets 7-0.
And that's Pete Carroll talking it over with Washington. And when you look at the problem they had on the last play, it's not easy to figure out. Look at the bottom of your screen right down here. That's Paul Fraze, okay? That's a guy coming off the field. Now, as Houston comes to the line, you look up, and then all of a sudden you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heck, if you're playing 10 defensive guys against 11 offensive guys, the offense should get touchdowns. And that's exactly what happened.
There is a Jet player injured on the kickoff, still down. It's Marcus Turner.
There's the left side of your screen. You see his neck get pushed back.
Ouch.
Probably got a nose problem on top of everything else because the forearm's crushing that.
Up on his feet. Good to see. One of the reasons the crowd might really be into it tonight, this is the first Oiler home game since they clinched the division title at Pittsburgh. Fans turning out to celebrate a little bit. Filling the dome tonight and hoping to see a franchise record 12th victory. Jets come out throwing on their second possession, and Mitchell can't hold it. Join us tomorrow night at 7:30, NFL Prime Monday. Mike Tirico, Joe Theismann, and Craig James. Take a look at the Monday night game between the Eagles and the 49ers. Live reports from the stick. Chris Mortensen will take us around the league for breaking news. And Julie Brown goes backstage with Seth Joyner. All that and much more. Prime Monday, 7:30 tomorrow night. Johnny Johnson, the single set back on 2nd and 10. Straight four-man rush. Boomer throws complete out to the 39-yard line. It'll be about a yard shy of a first down as Boomer completes it to Chris Burkett.
This is one of the big keys tonight is the pass protection that the Jets will give Boomer. As he drops back in the pocket, you get an idea of a cup that's formed. See him set in the pocket? Now, right there. See that pocket? He's got some place to step up. That's what they're going to have to do against this Oiler defense. Give him a chance to step up and make plays. Receivers are going to have to work hard. Boomer's going to have to hang tough.
Rob Carpenter, 82, checks in. 3 wide receivers set. Mathis gets it on the quick hit. And Mathis will pick up about 7 yards. The pattern you've always liked.
I like the hitch. I think it's if the corners are off, instead of throwing the square out and having your receiver run towards the sideline, if you throw a hitch, which is a 5-yard turn pattern, once the guy makes the catch, he can square up on the defensive back and make a move and gain more yards. It's a way to be more productive with a short pass.
It's a 1st and 10 for the Jets at their own 47-yard line. Johnson and Baxter in there together. Johnson behind Baxter and dragged down by Ray Childress at the line of scrimmage. There was a lot of question about Johnny Johnson when the Jets made their draft day deal with the Phoenix Cardinals to get him. He carried some baggage with him about his history of being what some people said was a malcontent, but the Jets have been thrilled, 1, with his attitude, 2, with his production.
And 3, his own teammates voted him the MVP of their football team. So he's done what he's had to do here for the Jets.
Second and 9. Johnson with a carry. Dragging tacklers down to the Houston 46-yard line. Chris Dishman made the tackle. Here's what he has meant to this club. after starting, he's only had 9 starts, averaging 118 yards per start, and has 5 100-yard games. He does not look that fast or that strong, but the people who try to tackle him say he is.
He runs to me a lot like Eric Dickerson, the way Eric used to run. Somewhat of an upright runner, but once he gets a shot, he can gain yards.
3rd and 3. Jets down by a touchdown. Oilers come with a blitz, and Boomer has to throw it away. Glenn Montgomery was applying the pressure.
That's the problem. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, Bruce Koslet's got his hands on his hips. Watch this. The Sweeney, the center, he's got to pick up Barrow. That means that the guy over the center doesn't have, there's nobody to block him. Sweeney's going to go to his right. Montgomery, again, comes totally clean. That is the philosophy of Buddy Ryan's defense. Give me somebody running free at the quarterback when I blitz. That's what he wants to do. He's done it 3 times tonight, been successful all 3 times.
Aguiar to punt to Drury with 11 seconds to go in the quarter. Bad snap again. Aguiar straight up. Drury trying to come up, save yardage, and does. Nice play by Drury. The punt carries only 30 yards. NFL Game Day comes your way next Saturday, 11:30 Eastern, the playoff edition. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, Chris Mortensen, Joe Theismann. They'll all preview the wild card playoff games in both conferences. Then at 7:30, Chris, Tom, and Joe back for the highlights and analysis on prime time. Sunday, we go back to noon for Game Day and preview the second pair of wild card games, and prime time at 7:30 for the wrap-up of all of Sunday's action. You're going to be busy next weekend, aren't you?
I think so. Yeah, but I'll miss you till Hawaii.
That's right.
This is our last one during the regular season.
Cody Carlson changing the play. From behind, and they'll get him this time. Scott Mercereau as the flag goes down. And it will be a hold against the Oilers on top of it. Very likely to decline that and take the play because Mercereau got the sack in the minus yardage.
Holding 74. Offense is declined. 2nd down.
That's the center, Bruce Matthews. They decline the penalty. That's the end of a rapidly moving first quarter. Oilers by a touchdown. Second quarter with Houston leading the Jets 7-0. Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann with you. And we'd like to welcome as a special guest Rod Woodson, who is watching tonight from his home in Wexford, Pennsylvania, the all-pro corner. Rod, it looked like you guys were in the playoffs until the Raiders made that marvelous comeback. You'd have been relaxed by now.
I would have bet my money on John Elway, but you know, things happen the way it's going to happen, and now we got to root for the Oilers. I guess we had to be Oilers cheerleaders tonight.
That's probably the last thing you ever expected in your life, to be rooting for the Houston Oilers.
Once I became a Pittsburgh Steelers, you better believe it. I never thought I'd root for these guys, but just for tonight.
Hey, Rod,
I'm big against them.
What's the difference in this Oiler team than the teams you played against in the past?
I think they're aggressive defense. Those guys had so much talent in the past, and I don't think they use it to their utmost. And you know, Buddy brought that defense in that is going to pressure the offense, and it's making them make a lot of mistakes, and they're making a lot of plays off of it.
We'll be checking back with Rod Woodson throughout the night as he follows the progress of this game. Cody Carlson dumping it off to Brown. And Brown weaves his way through tacklers up to the 28-yard line.
Oh, that's just a great job by the Jets secondary. And if you're only rushing 4 guys up front and they're blocking with 5 plus a back, it makes it real tough to get to the quarterback.
8 yards on the
Everybody's covered. Everybody's got somebody. There's no place to go to the football except he does find Gary Brown hanging out of the backfield and just dumps it off to him.
3rd and 7 for Houston. 4-man rush. That one's tipped to the line of scrimmage. Brown still makes the catch. Hasty and Lott and got the first down.
On that particular play, there are 3 opportunities for something good to happen for the Jets. The first one is this. The ball gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. The second one is the tackle. That one's missed. There's another tackle missed. Now he picks up the first down. What a terrific job by Gary Brown. What a lousy job of tackling by the Jets.
Gary Brown never got to show his stuff at Penn State very much. He was playing with Leroy Thompson and Blair Thomas. He was actually a safety as a junior.
There you go, baby.
Hitting the backfield this time, and Loggeman crashed down from his defensive end spot and made the tackle. He's playing with an extremely painful back and neck and has been an inspiration to the guys on that defensive unit.
Well, you know, the philosophy of this Jet defense is similar to what you see in Minnesota. You see him take a hard inside, and he just has no chance, David Williams, to make the block on him, and he makes the play. Pete Carroll, their defensive coordinator, feels his defense has played quite well. They gave up some big plays early in the year. Obviously, they squandered some big leads, but has played real well the second half of the season.
Ranked 7th in the NFL in total defense. 2nd and 12 for Carlson. Plenty of time to throw deep over the sideline, incomplete.
It's an interesting philosophy that the Jets apply. Cody Carlson has had at least 5 seconds to throw the ball on the last couple of plays, and he's had to rush it at the end because of the limited pressure. But that's just a terrific job by Pete Carroll. You know, he told us something else, too. You can't keep giving the Houston Oilers the same look. So what he's going to do is he's going to change up simply because once they figure out what you're doing on defense, they feel they can exploit it. So you got to change up.
3rd and 12. Carlson fumbles the snap from center, and it looked like he got it back. There's a flag down on the play.
Both the wide receivers twitched on the outside, but I think Cody was a little anxious to get away as well. He calls for it, and you know, a lot of times you concentrate on the secondary, especially when you've had so much time the last 2 plays, and you've looked at the secondary. Now all of a sudden what you're doing is you're concentrating on the defense, and you're forgetting about the football.
They'll decline the penalty and bring up a 4th down and force the punting unit on. And the Pro Bowl punter, Greg Montgomery, averaged 45.5 a kick. That was number 1 in the NFL. So was the net, 39-2.
Should have gone at least in 2 previous years, except the problem is he didn't have enough punts to qualify.
Clifford Hicks is back to receive. This thing is crushed. And it goes into the end zone. A punt of 68 yards for Greg Montgomery. Back in a moment.
What's up, Jake? What up? Where's Calvin? At the J.O.B., man. What? He's still flipping those burgers at Mickey D's?
Thanks, Calvin.
He says he has a plan, man.
Meet the newest member of our management team, Calvin.
Congratulations.
All right. Don't rip my boy too hard.
Yo, Calvin.
May we help you? Not much, man. Well, I'm out. Hey, yo, Calvin. Man, what's the word on that job thing? Not for me. For a friend of mine. Word.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by the over 6,500 Radio Shack stores nationwide and by American Airlines. Something special in the air.
12:09 to go. First half of play from the Astrodome in Houston. The Jets fighting for the final AFC playoff spot. Take over at their own 20. Johnny Johnson in the backfield behind Boomer Esiason. Johnson. Marshall strings it out. Nice cutback run by Johnson. Picks up nearly 6. If the Oilers took a while before they picked up Buddy Ryan's defense, in the first 5 games they allowed 22.8 points a game. They only had 9 sacks and 8 takeaways while going 1-4. But in the last 10 games, all victories, Houston has allowed only 12.4 points a game. They have 37 sacks and 33 takeaways. There is no denying the impact that he has made on the Houston Oilers defense, and he has done it wherever he has gone. Baxter pounds his way out about a yard shy of a first down at the 29.
You know, Mike, the reason why Buddy's defense is so complicated is he implements so many different fronts based upon what you do. He'll never give you the same thing to look at. He wants to constantly change up front, which requires great study by his linebackers and his secondary people. He also likes to make sure that his safeties get involved in either covering a tight end or a running back. Therefore, if that person blocks, you automatically add another tackler around the line of scrimmage.
3rd and a yard. And Boomer to throw for it. In the flat to Johnson has a great hand. Across the 40 to the 43-yard line. He has caught more passes than any running back in Jets history.
Mike, that's a case where sometimes you want to max protect, keep your backs in. What you're going to have over here is you're going to have an opportunity for the back to get out. Now, that's not him, that's him over here. You're going to see him just get out in the flat. See him just take off? Now, normally you'd want to keep him in protection, but that's not the case. That time the Jets gambled and got him out into the pass route.
Johnson will get a couple after the 45-yard line. Bruce Coslett was asked, does Johnson have a weakness? He says, sure, he can't punt. But that's about all.
2 yards on the carry for Coslett.
Sean Jones just following the flow. That's another key to this defense. It's just a flow type of defense. If the back moves one way, the defense is going to flow against it. If the Jets can cut off that flow on the backside, there should be big holes to run back to.
13 sacks, second in the NFL, did not make the Pro Bowl. Fuller had a great year at the other end. He didn't make it either. Here comes the blitz. Esiason unloads to Johnson, and he's wrapped up by Blaine Bishop. How about a debut for this kid? First start last week against San Francisco. First start of his career. He's the AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And, you know, Jack Pardee talked about him in this way. He said he's not just making plays, but he's making winning plays, and that's exactly what this is. Watch him. He's going to come up. I told you they hang close to the line of scrimmage. They bring the blitz. But all of a sudden, there's a defensive back right next to the outlet man where Boomer wants to unload the football.
Bishop in there because of the injury to Bubba McDowell. Bo Orlando at the other safety because Marcus Robertson is hurt. They back off the blitz this time. Esiason hit by Montgomery. Fumble the ball. The Jets have it back. Montgomery nails Esiason and forces the fumble.
I want to show you what causes problems for a quarterback. Everybody talks about pre-reads by quarterbacks. In a pre-read, here's a safety, here's a linebacker, here's a safety cheated over. In my mind, I'm thinking these guys are going to blitz. I'll guarantee you the same thing in Boomer's mind. Now, all of a sudden, wait a second. They're back in a zone. I've got to hold the ball a little bit longer. It disrupts your rhythm terribly.
Aguiar finally gets the snap that doesn't bounce, kicking for Drury. Beautiful punt this time. And it bounces into the end zone. A punt of 58 yards for Aguiar. The Oilers lead by a touchdown. They'll start from the 20.
Your Greater St. Louis GMC truck dealers would like to have a few words with you. And a final word. Great values on Sonoma's right-away service. Only at Fitzgerald GMC Truck St. Peter's, John E. Hanna GMC Truck Midtown St. Louis, Laura GMC Truck Collinsville, Illinois, Sinclair GMC Truck South County.
Hi, I'm Dan Bellman, and it's closeout time at Bellman Van. New 94s are pouring in daily, so we're clearing out the old models with incredible closeout sale prices. Minivans start as low as $15,988. Full-size vans just $16,988, all loaded with features. We have over 1,500 vans in stock, including demos and show models at even greater savings. Plus, get free hot dogs and soda and Bellman's exclusive 29-minute delivery. That's Bellman Vans, the world's largest van dealer. I-270 and McDonald Boulevard, where everyone buys their van.
Get it all at TJ's Sports Bar and Grill. Buy TJ's Steak Special every day. Enjoy a choice cut steak, potato, and dinner salad, all for one great price. And it's Ladies' Night every Wednesday and Thursday. For just $3, the party's on us from 8 till midnight. Join the fun crowd at TJ's Sports Bar and Grill, the newly renovated Peebly Rendezvous. TJ's has it all. Big screen sports, games, happy hours, ladies' nights, live entertainment, dancing, the best lunch and dinner in town, and a lot of friendly faces. So come on, party with us at TJ's Sports Bar and Grill, Highway Z and 6167 in Peebly.
Yeah.
Oilers by a touchdown with 7:49 to go. First half from the Astrodome in Houston. Here's the NFC playoff picture right now. Dallas gets a first round bye. They've clinched home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And next week, they will play the lowest seeded winner of the wild cards. That's in 2 weeks, obviously, after the bye week. San Francisco gets the bye. They will play the highest seeded wild card winner. The wild card games, the rematch of today's game, Green Bay at Detroit, again at the Silverdome. And then Sunday at 12:30, the other wild card game, Minnesota at the New York Giants. We'll update you as we go along on the AFC, and the Jets hold the key to that one. Brown, maybe a yard. Doug Dawson has a strained lower back. He will not return to the Oilers offensive line. A guy who missed nearly 4 years with an Achilles injury, and if anybody deserves not to have any more injuries, it's him. Gary Brown so far, 7 carries, 17 yards. Hasn't been able to break one. To Wellman on a crossing pattern, and Wellman to the 33. Eric Thomas smacked him down there after a gain of 12.
A lot of times, Mike, if you don't think that you're going to get the ball, you're not going to run as hard. But here's Curtis Duncan on the right side. He's just clearing out, going as hard as he can against Eric Thomas. That allows Wellman to come out underneath and make the play. This is where one wide receiver working complements another opportunity to make a play.
6:34 and counting, first half, first down Oilers. Carlson chased out of the pocket, throws complete to Wellman at the 49. And Joe, no wonder Kevin Gilbride says when this kid has had a chance, he's produced.
Oh, he really has. There's just a great catch. But the terrific pressure inside by the Jets. Jeff Lageman doing a great job. Takes the hard inside, just really beats Hopkins. Now he keeps his feet. He's flushed Cody out, but Carlson does a terrific job of picking his feet up. And look at this catch. That's grabbing one off the tree while you're going the other way.
Wellman, 5 catches, 51 yards. The 5 catches, a career high. Carlson dumps it to Brown. Jeffries trying to give him a block. And Mo Lewis makes the tackle at the 41.
You just said something that we wouldn't say in previous Houston Oilers games. Jeffries trying to give him a block. Haywood Jeffries is really struggling at the wide receiver position. You saw him drop the first pass tonight. He's letting the ball get to his body. But he's making up for it with some great effort as a wide receiver trying to block and help out his teammate. Watch the right part of your screen, number 84. See him getting away? He's just, Lonnie Young has to fight with him. There he comes up and does a good job on Hasty. I mean, he's not catching the ball real well, but he's trying to do other things.
Only 10 catches in his last 4 games, none tonight. And that one's too low for Givens. Couldn't pick it off his shoe tops. At the 36-yard line, Lonnie Young was out there.
As this game goes on, you're going to see, I think, the ball start to do a lot of different things coming out of Cody Carlson's arm.
Why?
Because what happens is you throw the football with your lower part of your body, your step and balance. He's going to start to be forced to throw the ball with his arm, which I believe he does on this one. He doesn't get a chance to really step well. That's all arm. You see him bring that right foot. It's like a pitcher throwing. It becomes all arm. And that's going to wear on as the game goes on.
And that's Bucky Richardson, who may get his opportunity tonight. Former Texas A&M star. tremendous athlete. Carlson sacked at midfield. Marvin Washington gets his 4th sack of the season, had 8.5 a year ago.
Pete Carroll's defense is doing a terrific job. The secondary's just creating problems for Cody to go someplace with the ball. Good hard movement inside. Lageman working hard. Washington comes around and makes the sack. Got some great athletes up front on this Jet defense.
Washington didn't get his first sack until game 10 this year. The Oilers' 3rd down conversions, they've hit 5 out of 6 tonight. This, however, is 3rd and 20. Wellman. Well, 3rd and 20 is not that big a deal, I guess.
Piece of cake. If it's 3rd and 20, find Gary Wellman. He'll be out there somewhere.
All he's done in the first half is make 6 catches for 75 yards. A new star may have been born in Houston.
And they need it out of their wide receiving core. There's Ronnie Lott. He's going to move out of the picture. Wellman's going to come around and get right in the middle of the football field. There he goes. Now he's moved. He slides a little left. Carlson does a good job of holding Lott home. Wellman just finds the hole. See him throw his hand up real quick? Now, in the Houston Oilers receiving corps, when you throw your hand up, that means I'm stopping. That's a little signal between quarterback and wide receiver.
That signal means I can't get the playoff in time. Timeout for Cody Carlson. 3:30 to go in the half. Warren Moon not playing tonight with a broken rib. Suffered 2 weeks ago, aggravated a week ago. He should feel much better in 2 weeks when the Oilers have to tee it up again. If this game had meant home field advantage, he would have been the starting quarterback. And Cody Carlson doing just fine, thanks. 120 yards passing in the first half. Has time, throws, and to throw away. Smart play by Carlson. Cody Carlson is a guy who's been around a long time, not had too many opportunities to play. He says, I'm here to produce. Basically, that's why they've kept me around for the last 7 years, giving me all these meals and stuff, because I can produce.
They can produce at $2.5 million. That's what backups are making today, Mike. Backups.
He says with a
guys
touch
that
of
don't
jealousy.
start. And he gets $4 million. Okay.
Yeah, but you don't get hit up here in the booth.
And I'll tell you something. The value of backups is that. I think you have to have a good backup if you're going to go on.
2nd and 10. Carlson with time, dumps it to Wellman. Who up? To the 20, to the 17-yard line. And ducks under the head-hunting Ronnie Lott.
You know, nobody else on this team is catching a ball. I mean, Ernest Gibbons had one thrown at his feet, but that was about it. Wellman works from the opposite side of the field. He goes up about 5 yards. Now it's a shallow crossing pattern. Watch this. Comes back. He's at the line of scrimmage. Now he turns it up, and he picks up 9 yards.
Talk about people who have been discovered by necessity. Wellman and Brown, both of whom are having a huge impact on this offense.
And pleasant surprises to Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator.
Wellman, 7 catches, 84 yards, both career highs. And he's got him in the half. Brown, Lageman got him from behind as he reached the 15-yard line, but it should be enough for another first down. Inside the 20-yard line, Pete Carroll has fashioned a formidable defense. 2nd ranked in the NFL in the red zone. He'll need all that defense he can muster right now, down 7-0. In a game they simply have to win. And that man is no small part of what this defense has done this year. The addition of Ronnie Lott. Carlson, given. Already has the touchdown catch. Gets it to the 8. Kyle Clifton with another tackle. And that's the 2-minute warning here in the Dome. The Oilers up by 7 and bidding for more. in the first half. Houston leading the Jets by 7 coming up at halftime. The fastest 3 minutes in television with Chris Berman, all the highlights. Then after further review, the playoff picture with Chris and Tom Jackson. Really not much of a challenge anymore. We just about understand it. Then back to the Astrodome. Joe will have his first half analysis of this ball game, which has been a hard-fought defensive battle. Right now, the Oilers have it at the 8-yard line. Remember, they had the earlier drive that went more than 8 minutes to get the touchdown. This one approaching the 6-minute mark.
You're not supposed to be able to do that with a run and shoot.
No. Carlson to Brown. Slips a tackle to the 5, the 2, touchdown.
Great job of running by Gary Brown. Cody Carlson looks down the field, doesn't have what he wants, steps up, throws the ball out. Now, this is all Gary Brown. One move, one missed tackle by a Jet. The man's moving to the end zone. Don't throw a shoulder at him. Try and tackle him.
Oh, you're right.
Thomas throws a little flipper in. You know, the Jets aren't playing like they're playing for a playoff. They're playing like they want to knock somebody down.
Lonnie Young was faked out, but Eric Thomas didn't even try to use his arm. Del Greco for the point after. And Gary Brown gets the touchdown on the little swing pass. And it's 14-0 Oilers. Oilers lead it 14-0. And if they win and the Jets lose, that means the Pittsburgh Steelers will go to the playoffs. Rod Woodson here with his daughter Marika live at home in Wexford, Pennsylvania. Rod, you have to be excited at this point, but you were excited earlier in the day, too, and were disappointed.
I'm very excited right now. You know, right now I got my daughter doing Oiler cheers. Here we go, Oilers. But she's not gonna get used to it. This is one night only.
Are you gonna make her? Are you gonna make her forget them after tonight? Is that it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. She'll definitely forget them. She'll go back to being a Steeler cheerleader.
All right, Rod, hang in there. We'll check back with you. We'll check your pulse rate too.
Oh, please.
Morrell and Thomas wait Del Greco's kick. Thomas driven 3 yards deep in the end zone. Morrell says keep it there. And the Jets will operate their 2-minute drill from the 20-yard line. Another long, impressive scoring drive by the Houston Oilers, 80 yards. Gary Brown finished it off. So on 2 touchdown drives, they've taken nearly 14 minutes off the clock in the first half.
It's interesting. In the first drive, Gary Brown makes a great move on the sidelines to keep the drive going on a 3rd down play. On this drive, he makes just great individual efforts to get in the end zone. I mean, Gary Brown has really been the key. Cody Carlson has run the offense to perfection, but Gary Brown has kept it alive and finished it off.
The Jets can ill afford to fall any further behind. Keep in mind their offense during the month of December averaged 7 points a game. Well, they need a couple of games worth right now just to get even.
I think they have to start taking some chances. Now, normally, too, in a 2-minute situation, a lot of defenses lay back. Not this one. You're absolutely right. Buddy Ryan will not lay back. He will not give you the luxury of not feeling some kind of pressure.
Buddy Ryan doesn't lay back opening the presents under the Christmas tree.
Now, Wilbur Marshall says what we have to continue to do is learn to put nails in coffins.
Esiason chased out of the pocket. He'll get about 4.
5 yards gain on the run.
Clock running, 1:43 to go. The timeout situation, the Jets have all of theirs left. Boomer dumps it to Baxter. And Baxter will only get a couple before Michael Barrow makes the tackle. Barrow is one of the fastest linebackers you will ever see.
And I think that's a big key. You know, Michael Barrow, Lamar Lathan, Al Smith, they can all run with back. So they have that ability to cover.
3rd and 3. Jets trying to keep the drive alive. A lot of movement up front. Sean Jones gives Esiason a little extra push. And Boomer has something to say about it.
Offside, 96, defense.
And Jones was the guilty party.
Sean Jones, he says he feels like Susan Lucci when it comes to the daytime Emmys. She always gets nominated but never gets one. He feels that way lately about the Pro Bowl. Feels he's had a great year but doesn't have a chance to go.
1st and 10. We mentioned the offensive drought the last few games. Look at the disparity between the first 10 games and the last 5 for Boomer. Baxter and Johnson in there together on 1st down. Keep both of them in the block, and the pass too far from Mathis. Covered by Jackson. Joe, every quarterback that plays against the Buddy Ryan defense simply looks uncomfortable all the time. Very understandable.
Which you are. You don't look that way. That's the way you are. He makes you feel uncomfortable. He doesn't ever let you get into a comfort zone where you know whether they're coming or whether they're not. And that has been one trademark of what he has done. He just really makes you prepare and then upsets you while you're preparing.
The numbers on Esiason, 37 yards passing in the first half. Comes the blitz again. He unloads in a hurry. Knocked away by Dixon. Mitchell couldn't hold it.
What Buddy does is he gives you a look, and he says, okay, I know what your breakoff is. Here's 2 guys up top, Latham and Bishop. They're both going to come. That means that the tight end has to go in the flat. He knows that. So what he's going to do is, instead of having Dishman go into coverage, he has him hang out in the flat. Now watch this. All of a sudden you think Mitchell's there for blitz hot guy. It's not going to happen. Cornerback sitting there.
The key is, if you have time against it, you can burn it. Dyson keeps his blockers in, dumps it off. Johnson will not get to the first down stick. Shoved out of bounds to the 39-yard line. And the Jets are going to have to punt it away. I think the one thing the Jets were trying to be very careful of there was making a mistake and letting Houston score again.
Yeah, but if you got a one-shot at a playoff, Mike, you're going to have to take some chances somewhere in this football game. The Jets going in at halftime probably aren't going to get the ball back. Coming out the second half, they're going to have to cast safety to the wind and let it roll a little bit.
Aguiar nearly blocked. Drury comes up, takes it on the run. Reverses his field. Can't get a block, got it out to the 34-yard line. A spectacular 3-yard return after a 32-yard punt.
Oilers special teams coming in. He almost gets this. Look at it. Almost right by his hand. Rashay Watson comes flying in and just, Madsen almost gets it. Greg Williams, their special teams coach.
See what the Oilers choose to do with 37 seconds left. Carlson in tandem for Tony Jones, and right with him, stride for stride, Eric Thomas. Tony Jones right now is their speed receiver.
Kevin Gilbride told me that he's going to play Tony Jones and Travis Hanna tonight to see if he can get some guys who can get down the field and make some plays for him. You know, when your wide receivers are struggling like Duncan and Jeffries have, you can't just sit pat. If the guys have to play, Kevin wants somebody he can go to. Right now, he's in a little bit of a chess game with his wide receivers. He's not sure which one is going to be able to make plays for him.
And unless you have speed on the outside, this is not a big play offense. 2nd and 10, hit from behind, loose ball. Lagerman after it, recovered by the Jets, Bill Patel. And now people are going to say, why were you throwing the ball instead of maybe killing the clock?
Because they had time. They had a timeout left. They figured the Jets would be back. They could pick up chunks of yards. Was a good decision. Bad execution. Marvin Washington this time is going to make the play. He's going to come on around and hit Cody right from the back. Carlson looking downfield. Again, Hopkins just can't handle him. That's a tough position for the Houston Oilers. Their left tackle has not done a good job. Brad Hopkins is getting beat inside and outside.
So the Jets have a huge break. With 24 seconds to go, they have a chance to cut into this 14-point lead. There's the rookie left tackle.
They still have 3 timeouts left as well.
Esiason yelling at his lineman who can't hear in here. Esiason throwing for the end zone, throws it away. This is after the fumble. Take a look at what happened on the sideline with Kevin Gilbride and Buddy Ryan.
There's Buddy Ryan. There's Kevin Gilbride. That's Buddy Ryan taking a swing at Kevin Gilbride.
Now, that's hard to believe.
That's baloney. I mean, it's just hogwash. I mean, Kevin Gilbride shouldn't have to take that. And Buddy Ryan, if he wants to be a head coach, wait till he gets a job somewhere. You're not the head coach of the Houston Oilers. Do your job and coach your
can't
side.
even justify it under those circumstances.
He's a heck of a coach. Just acts like a jerk sometimes.
Boomer with a pump fake over the middle, incomplete. Of course, what Ryan is upset about is he wanted to see the clock killed and go in with a 14-point lead. He has taken a lot of shots at the Houston Oilers offense, and one thing he did by taking those shots, he solidified the offense against him.
I don't care. He's not the head football coach of the Houston Oilers.
You're absolutely right.
If this football team doesn't go to the playoffs, it's going to be because of division on a coaching staff, not because of division of a football playing team.
And he's lucky that Kevin Gilbride didn't come back after him.
I think he did. He just got stopped.
Unbelievable. And you're up 14-0. They'll stop the clock with 9, make it 8 seconds, and now this clock did not stop. The officials signaled for a timeout about 10 seconds on the clock.
Got to give credit to the Houston Oilers fans for that one.
This will be a 40-second timeout.
The Houston Oilers fans caused that problem. Boomer Esiason having a terrible time trying to communicate his signals. He sees the blitz coming. He's trying to get away from the center in a hurry. His center's trying to pick up and block for him. That's the problem that this defense causes.
Let's go back after the fumble play and show you what happened again on the Houston sideline. You will see Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator, coming in from the right. Obviously, something had been said, and now Gilbride being restrained, going after Buddy, who threw the punch.
I'll tell you one thing.
Unbelievable.
You know where you don't want to be? When you walk into that Houston Oilers locker room. Instead of concentrating on winning a football game, the players are going to have to get with the coaches and keep the coaches apart.
This will be a 37-yard field goal attempt from Terry Blanchard, who missed 3 a week ago when they could have upset Buffalo. He missed that one, too. So the Jets blow a huge opportunity after getting the fumble. That's the end of the first half. The score, the Oilers 14, the Jets nothing. Let's join Chris Berman for the Acura halftime report.
I'm not sure I just saw that, Mike and Joe. Buddy Ryan, Kevin Gilbride would like to be a fly on the wall in the Oilers locker room. Well, you don't win 10 in a row without a little fisticuffs, do you? The Oilers lead at halftime 14-0. And oh, by the way, Steelers are big Oilers fans tonight. They hope that the Oilers beat the Jets, then Pittsburgh came in. Happened before in 1977 when the Steelers upset Cincinnati. When Houston upset Cincinnati to get Pittsburgh in, the Oilers said thank you by, they sent them at the Shea case. Did everybody in Pittsburgh send Houston? So Pittsburgh, if you get in, ante up. See, I'm thrown by that fight. Let's go to the Week 18 because lots of things were anteed up. Joe, Buddy Ryan, Kevin Gilbride, I'd like to be a fly on the wall in the Oilers locker room. Well, you don't win 10 in a row without a little fisticuffs, do you? The Oilers lead at halftime 14-0. And oh, by the way, Steelers are big Oilers fans tonight. They hoped that the Oilers beat the Jets, then Pittsburgh came in. Happened before in 1977 when the Steelers upset Cincinnati. When Houston upset Cincinnati to get Pittsburgh in, the Oilers said thank you by, they sent them at the Shea case. Did everybody in Pittsburgh send Houston? So Pittsburgh, if you get in, ante up. See, I'm thrown by that fight. Let's go to the Week 18 because lots of things were anteed up in the Meadowlands. Home field advantage to the NFC at stake. Troy Aikman to Emmitt Smith. Dallas leads the Giants 13-0 at the half. But the Giants turn it around when on a partially blocked punt, Kevin Williams tries to come up and make something out of a return. He fumbles. Giants recover. They end up tying the game at the end of regulation 13-all. But on Dallas' first possession in OT, Eddie Murray, eat, drink, and be Murray, 41 yards. LT and the Giants lose 16-13. Pack and the Lions going for first place in the NFC Norris. Brett Favre picked off 4 times. One by Ray Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. Takes it deep into Packer territory. Favre, who's thrown 24 picks this year. This ball's tipped by Porcher into Swilling's hands. Eric Kramer, Lions coming on since he's been the starter, to Rodney Holman, touchdown. Lions beat the Pack 30-20. They meet in the playoffs, same field, same bat time, same bat channel. Broncos and the Raiders. John Elway for 361 yards, 54 of them to Shannon Sharp. Raiders trailed 30-13, but on the just seconds to go, Alexander, if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Catches the pass from the Haas. Then to overtime. Denver's missed a field goal. Jeff Jagermeister on the house. It's good. 47 yards. Raiders beat the Broncos. They meet again next week. Same field. Bill Cowher's Steelers got to beat the Browns and then need some help. Neil O'Donnell, after a slow start to Eric Green, touchdown. Last second. Vinny to Michael Jackson, but DJ Johnson knocks it away. The Steelers stay alive, win 16-9. Bills and the Colts. Kelly started, Frank Reich in. Beautiful pass to Bill Brooks. The Bills, the Rasputins of the AFC, you can't kill them off. They're home through the playoffs, 30-10 over the Colts. Carnes and the Falcons. Jerry Glanville, Joe Bugle on the hot seat. Steve Berline to Gary Clark. Cards hotter than the Falcons. They win going away 27-10. Jerome Bettis of the Rams needed 203 yards against Dave Wannstedt's Bears. Could he catch Emmitt Smith and become the first rookie to win the rushing title in 10 years? 13 yards for Bettis. Touchdown for Bettis. 146 yards for Bettis. Not quite enough, but the Rams win 20-6. David Shula, 2-year contract extension for the Bengals. And they lose to the Saints when Steve Walsh hit Eric Martin. 54 yards. Saints win 20-13. Bengals get the first draft pick. Chargers, Bucks, Sombrero, Stan Humphries to Dwayne Young. Nice touch, touchdown, lightning bolts. Bucks last effort in the rain at Tampa. But Brian Davis picks off Craig Erickson. San Diego evens the mark at 8-8. They beat the Bucks 32-17. Joe Montana saw him struggle last Sunday night here on ESPN. No struggle against the Seahawks. Hits Willie Davis. Chiefs up with a very big early lead. Thanks in part to Albert Lewis. No one does it better. 11 block punts for Lewis. This one a block and a touchdown. But watch Rick Meyer. This is why he's going to be a star. Patience. Rolls out. Touch. Touchdown. Seattle loses, but they win with Meyer. 34-24, the Chiefs win. Dolphins and Patriots, just as good as Meyer looked. Bledsoe was better today. Drew had 4 touchdown passes to Ben Wintercoach for a touchdown. Miami needs to win. They're down by a field goal. Mitchell with the prayer. It's answered. Sets up a tying field goal. But in overtime, Bledsoe, Michael Timpson, 26 yards. The Patriots win their last 4 games. They haven't done that since 76. Knock the Dolphins out of the playoff hunt, 33-27 in overtime. When we return, Tom Jackson joins me. And after further review, Emmitt Smith. We figured out he's good.
This halftime report is presented by Acura. Some things are worth the price.
Anyone who says it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game, doesn't understand the game. Because when even one child loses interest in school, we all lose. we all lose. And we can't afford that. The National Football League wants to help make learning fun. The big idea is in the cards. The FACT program is based on the fun kids have with football trading cards. Sets of cards and other materials are sent directly to schools. They feature players and pose challenging questions.
Who can define
self-esteem? Self-esteem.
Eduardo. Self-esteem is to feel good about yourself, respecting and believing in yourself.
That's fact. Because when it comes to learning, these guys play to win. Football and academics, a championship team.
Come fly the airline that spans more than half the world. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
$14-0 Oilers. Tom Jackson joins me as we duke it out here at halftime. I tell you what, Emmitt Smith played only 14 games this year. He's won his third straight rushing title with 1,486 yards. See, that fight has fouled me up after further review. Hey, Tom, this just in. He's good.
Well, I think all of the great running backs have similar styles. He has the ability to make people miss. Emmitt Smith has that scooting style close to the ground, and I think what it enables him to do is run under control.
Well, he got hurt and left at the end of the first half, but came back, and Tommy, they used him even more in crunch time, injured against the Giants.
He became the workhorse at this point in the game. I thought that was the most impressive thing, but he catches the ball as well as he runs the football. He's a dynamic receiver. He can make people miss, and look at the great vision right there as he kind of shifts his way through the Giants defense.
Well, he joins Steve Van Buren, Jim Brown, Earl Campbell as the only men to win 3 straight rushing titles. They're all in the Hall of Fame. But we already knew he was good. What else did we learn about Emmitt today in that win over the Giants?
I think we learned something about heart and integrity. This is a kid who came out and played because he wanted to play, not because the coach wanted him in the game. He wanted to contribute to his team's winning, even though he was hurt. What a novel idea that is.
So Dallas now, because of the great win, a great game at the Meadowlands, they're home throughout the playoffs in the NFC. The Bills home throughout the playoffs in the AFC. Here's the way they line up next weekend, the opening round of the playoffs. The Saturday games, the Jets beat the Oilers, and of course they're trailing now. They'll be at Kansas City. If they don't, Pittsburgh will be at Kansas City. Early on Saturday, Green Bay at Detroit, the rematch. That's the late Saturday game. The Sunday games line up this way. Minnesota at the Meadowlands to take on the New York Giants. Denver at the Raiders. That's a rematch of this week. That's happened 6 previous times in the NFL where they finished the regular season against each other and have played the next week. The result in the playoffs, 4 times out of 6, has been different than the end of the regular season. Keep that in mind. Game day in prime time, we're here both days for you. Saturday at 11:30 a.m. start, prime time at 7:30 Saturday night. It's a half-hour version. And then Sunday, the normal noon start, and 7:30 Eastern time for prime time. 14-0, the Oilers lead at halftime over the New York Jets. The Jets need a win to get in, and I don't know if this is the cruiserweight division or what, but when your offensive and defensive coordinators are scrapping, chances are the ball club is scrappy. Oilers, Jets at the Dome. Who knows what will happen in the second half?
All year-end car sales are not created equal. This year, why not the best? The Sabre, the #1 selling full-size sedan in America, loaded for $19,995. Regal, Buick's Dynamite midsize. Century, find a better riding car for the money, buy it. Shop Park Avenue against any comparably equipped luxury car, you'll choose Park Avenue. Hurry into your greater Rochester area Buick dealers. This year, why not the best?
Now is the time to build your future. The adult education program at the Eastern Monroe Career Center. It's never been easier. Get your GED. Take advantage of one of our many training programs and make more money. Childcare and transportation services are available if you qualify. Secure a new future for you and your family with the Adult Education Program through the Eastern Monroe Career Center. For more information, call the Adult Education Program at 383-2210. The Eastern Monroe Career Center, helping you build your future.
It's easy to understand why Rochesterians voted Rick's Prime Rib House their favorite for prime rib and early dinner specials. You'll want to check out the expanded menu, served proudly by the Richard Ahmed family. Whether it's an intimate evening for two or a small gathering of up to 60 in their private party room, Rick's outstanding professional service will make it your favorite restaurant too. Rick's Prime Rib House, located in the heart of Pittsburgh, with plenty of free parking.
1989, Michigan Seton Hall, about to hit the game-winning free throw with no time left. And he makes it look... Oh! He just... Get in there! He just... Oh, dang it! Little help! Son of a... Come on! And he makes it look this easy. Of course, it was harder for him with all the screaming fans and the pressure.
This halftime report is presented by Acura. Some things are worth the price.
Welcome back to halftime in Houston, where the Oilers are leading the New York Jets 14-0. And if there wasn't enough riding on the game, one of the most bizarre set of circumstances that I've ever seen covering football for a long, long time happened at the end of this half with the Oilers up 14-0. With the ball, under a minute to go, trying to move the ball from their own end of the field, and Cody Carlson has the ball knocked away and fumbles. Then we go to the sideline where offensive coordinator Kevin Gilbride obviously hears something and walks toward defensive coordinator Buddy Ryan, who throws a punch at him in what I have to characterize as a totally classless act. Let's go to Pam Oliver and see if we can get a comment from the Houston Oilers.
Well, Mike, Jack Pardee told me very briefly he tried to dismiss this whole thing as just football. He said it's just an incident. But I have to tell you, it goes much deeper than that. I've done stories about these two. They do not get along at all. But for this to happen so publicly, I can imagine by tomorrow, Mike Holloway, our owner, Bud Adams, will absolutely hit the ceiling about this matter. But right now, the Oilers have to concentrate on the Jets. Back to you.
Jack Pardee trying to play peacemaker as he has all year long. We'll be back with the third quarter in a moment.
Paying for quality can be a difficult decision at first. But over time, it's a lot easier to live with. Acura. Some things are worth the price.
It's a good thing it's the last week of the season. If it's going to get this strange, we can't take much more. We get ready to start the third quarter with the Oilers up 14-0. Jets kicking off. And the Oilers will start from their own 20-yard line. Let's take a look at the halftime stats. And it was dominated by two long drives by the Houston Oilers. 137 yards to 40 passing. That's the major discrepancy.
And it's incredible. With a game of this intensity, you see only one penalty in the first half, and that was against the Oilers. 3 sacks. The Jets have given up time of possession in favor of the Houston Oilers in an offense that's not supposed to be able to do that. And first downs almost 3-1.
The Jets must win this game to get into the playoffs. If the Jets lose tonight, the Pittsburgh Steelers grab the final wild card spot. And Cody Carlson brings out the offense from the 20. We visited here in the last possession. Brown gets a couple. Driving forward to the 23.
Cody Carlson doing a fine job on a very sore right groin. adrenaline has the ability to make things happen. He's really spread it out. There he is working underneath very well, but still taking shots down the field. Very successful down the middle. 1 for 4 down the right side. Done a nice job of spreading the ball around, making the Jets play the whole field.
The numbers on Carlson, the 2 touchdowns are the big ones. Here comes the blitz. Carlson throws it away, and it looks like he got away with one, just unloaded it. There is a flag down at the end of the play, however.
But he's really hurting. That time he let it go and just not comfortable. He just can't make certain throws. It's an interesting decision, Mike. Do you leave him at 3rd and 6? Or do you take him back and give him another down as well as this offense has moved the ball? I think you decline it.
I agree with you.
Gary Brown running the football. Nothing outside to the left. Over the left guard, 3 rushes for 10 yards. Over the right guard, only 5 rushes for 9 yards. And outside, you can see that the Oilers are trying to attack this Jet defense inside the tackles.
3rd and 6. Brown has had much more success catching passes out of the backfield than running tonight. Carlson with time, throws to Duncan. Ronnie Lott grabs him, and it depends on the mark. Very close to the 30, which would be a first down, and they mark it right at the stripe. One official from each side of the field came across, and they both had identical spots on it.
Like it used to be that the way to beat the Houston Oilers was to let their smallish receiving core catch the ball and then just pound them. But I think the addition of Webster Slaughter last year has really given this whole receiving core a sense of toughness. Now people pound on them, and these guys just keep on catching the ball anyway.
It is a first down for the Oilers. The Jets defense has to make something happen. And they'll whistle this one dead. And it will be a delay against the Oilers. Going back to the Buddy Ryan incident at halftime, keep in mind, this game means absolutely nothing to the Houston Oilers as far as playoffs, home field advantage, nothing. And they're ahead 14-0.
They've got at least 2 weeks to work together yet until they do get a playoff game, and it will be here. I believe that both these men probably will wind up or could wind up or should wind up as head coaches in the league somewhere. They're both that good, but they'll not coach together here on this team. I'd be shocked if that happened.
And you have to think Buddy Ryan hurts his chances of getting a head coaching job if he wants to be a boxer on the sideline. Carlson deep down the middle, and Wellman makes another catch. Gary Wellman, since coming in for the injured Webster Slaughter, has been sensational tonight. 8 catches, 106 yards.
Ronnie Lott really doesn't have him in coverage. He's just back in his zone. See Wellman throw his hand up? That's an indicator to Cody Carlson that he's going to stop in that voided area. As soon as he throws his hands up, Cody just fires it into the same void.
And Wellman has been able to find the holes in that zone. Gary Brown. Ronnie Lott took him out of bounds, but he has another first down. Gary Brown, 10 carries, 35 yards. He needs 83 to hit 1,000 for the season.
He's the kind of a guy who just wears on you. What they're going to do is they're going to pull out and they're going to trap it. He's going to take it right outside. There's the move outside. Just a great job. Just hooking, log him in, and turning the corner.
And Donnelly is in there for the injured Doug Dawson. Carlson with plenty of time. Going deep. Jeffries can't get there. Covered by Hasty.
And
Carlson will have to pick himself up.
I really believe that that was a case where you saw how far Cody Carlson can throw a ball just with his arm. He did not have an opportunity to step into this ball, and if he did, he wouldn't have any strength on it. Lott comes to the middle. Carlson works down the left side. Now he tries to step in, and this thing's going to just die like a duck. It just never had a chance to get there. That's all arm. That's all. That's a muscle throw. He's just gutting this one out.
2nd and 10 from the 41. Brown. Another nice block by Donnelly. Loose football. Oilers have it back. Eric Norgard pounced on it. He's in there for the injured Mike Munchak. And one of the Jets is hurt. And it's Lageman. They could ill afford to lose him. He's been playing hurt all year anyway.
Number 48, Brian Washington's going to come in. Marvin Washington, number 97, makes the play. Mo Lewis has a shot at the ball, and Eric Norgard, just a lot of hustle. That's why you love to have your offensive linemen working down the field.
We've got a timeout on the field still. A 14-0 Oiler lead.
Interpretation of the original.
Hey, here's your din-din, big fella, huh? Yeah. Here's Daddy's din-din.
Once you get a look at those 2 all-beef patties.
No, this is Daddy's.
That special sauce, lettuce, cheese piled fresh and hot on that sesame seed bun. You've gotta have a Big Mac.
What you want is what you get. At McDonald's today.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. And by Levi's loose-fitting jeans.
14-0. Oilers over the Jets, 3rd quarter. Let's get Rod Woodson to rejoin us from his home outside Pittsburgh. He's, of course, hoping he'll be in the playoffs later. Rod, this was a new one on us with 2 assistant coaches going after each other in the sideline. You ever seen anything like it?
I never have. It's something new, but I know they've been having something that they've been disapproving with each other the whole year. So hopefully it won't happen again. But if they do, hopefully it happens with us if we meet them in the playoffs.
All right, Rod. Thanks very much.
All right, guys.
Rod's going to stay with us. Right now, his team is looking good with the Oilers winning this ball game. Carlson on 3rd and 6. Throws over the middle. It's a first down to the 24-yard line. Jeffries makes the catch in front of Hasty.
And he needed that. Haywood Jeffries has been fighting himself, fighting the ball for the last few weeks, trying to catch the ball with his body. Here he comes up with a big play. Coming in from the right side of your screen, the Jets try and blitz. Haywood hangs in the middle, makes the catch, and hangs on to the ball. He's still cradling it a little bit, but at least he caught that one.
Jeffries out of North Carolina State had 10 catches in his last 4 games coming into this. Brown got away from Clifton down to the 20-yard line. Patel stands him up. And I don't know that anybody has gotten him down on the first shot tonight.
No, even with, whether you hit him with an arm or like they did that time, they hit him with a shoulder. He has great ability to absorb the impact and reload. I mean, this is just, you're right there. You're right there. You're going to make the tackle, Kyle Clifton, and all of a sudden, Gary Brown's still going forward. Mott had a shot at him. He didn't get him, and it turns out to be a 4-yard gain.
9:54 to go, 3rd quarter. Oilers trying to pad a 14-0 lead. Carlson chased out of the pocket, throws on the run. Wellman finally gets a pass he can't handle. Low and behind him.
See, I think with Cody Carlson struggling the way he is to move around, you can't allow him just to sit back in the pocket. And I understand what the defense is trying to do with the Jets, but you still got to try and go after him. Here they come with a little more pressure. They get the pressure up front, and he's just struggling. He's just fighting to get the ball off. I think you've got to make him be a bit more uncomfortable in the pocket.
Bucky Richardson is the backup. Warren Moon, the third or emergency quarterback tonight. 3rd and 5 for the Oilers. Carlson, triple pump throws, complete, first down. Duncan inside the 10. Now they say incomplete. And Duncan goes airborne.
Every official comes in and calls it incomplete. 3 of them come in and call it incomplete. I guess if 3 of them come in, it's got to be that way.
Well, Hasty was trying to help him out.
Well, what a great job that offensive line has done, giving Cody Carlson all day to throw the football. There it is. The ball gets away. Absolutely. Another call. Excellent job by the officials.
Of course, Cody didn't get that good a vantage point at it. Al Del Greco, 38-yard field goal attempt. He's had a tremendous year, and he knocks this one through. Del Greco has missed only 2 of under 49 yards this year.
When you test drive a 1994 Honda Accord at Ontario Honda, you'll find out very quickly that beauty is more than skin deep. Not only is the 94 Accord totally restyled, you'll find more power under the hood, a bigger interior, and dual airbags, now standard in every 94 Honda. When it comes to buying a Honda, there's only one name to remember.
Ontario Honda.
6 miles south of the Thruway in Canandaigua.
You got a friend.
Hey, listen to this. At Laser Art Products, you'll find teams like Dallas Cowboys, Miami Dolphins, LA Raiders, Green Bay Packers, and a wide selection of NFL, NBA, college, and Major League Baseball memorabilia. Triple goose down jackets, Suba sweatpants, blankets, awesome t-shirts, wallets, watches, clocks, checkbook covers, even cue sticks. Laser Art Products also has holographic products, Harley Davidson, Star Trek, rock and roll, Beavis and Butthead, and much more. All products marked 10 to 30% off. And at Laser Art Products, you'll find over 15,000 items marked under $10.
Why go anywhere else?
Are you tired of going to those high-priced furniture stores that charge you 3 times its value just so you can finance it? Well, look no more. At National Furniture Outlet Superstore, you'll find the same quality merchandise at wholesale prices and have up to 3 years to pay with no interest for 3 months. Living rooms starting at $398. Brass and glass coffee and end tables as low as $99 sold in set. Entertainment centers from a mere $88. Floor lamps from $78.
Our values adjust your style. National Furniture Outlet Superstore.
Oilers by 17, third quarter. It has been a strange year in Houston. These two guys haven't gotten along all year. First they start 1-4. People wrote them off for dead. Then Warren Moon was benched for poor play. We had Davey Williams and Baby Gate. He chose to be with his family instead of going with the team. Then they reel off 8 straight wins to get back in it. Then they have to deal with the tragedy of Jeff Alm. Then they show the road warrior ability to win at Pittsburgh and San Francisco. And the latest chapter in this saga, Buddy Ryan throwing a punch at fellow assistant coach Kevin Gilbride, who then has to be restrained. And Gilbride told me earlier this year that he challenged Buddy Ryan a couple of times after he made comments. He said, you want to do something, come on over. And Buddy did not.
Well, that's the way they are. I mean, it's a sad thing to see, especially when you're getting ready for, hopefully, a Super Bowl run.
Morrell and Thomas are back. Thomas will take it 4 yards deep. And the Jets, again, will have to start from their own 20-yard line. And time is running out for Boomer and his offense.
I think they have to start taking some chances here. I think they're going to have to send out more receivers than try and protect Boomer. He's going to have to go a little deeper in the pocket and take a chance on getting the ball down the field. Even if you don't make the perfect throw, you got to have guys come up with plays. After all, your wide receivers average almost 6'5", and the defensive backs of the Oilers are somewhat smaller.
Play action. Boomer is the best. Out in the flat, Mathis will be taken out of bounds by Dishman up at the 36-yard line.
Give you an idea what Boomer's tried to do with the football all day. I should say all evening. There it is. Again, working in this area. A lot of it hurried throws, but you see deep, nothing. One try down the middle, but that was about it. But he just and the Jets will not put the ball down the field.
First down from their own 36. Johnson, the setback. They are playing without wide receiver Rob Bohr, who's out with a bad foot. Johnson cuts it outside. Burkett threw him a nice block downfield, and he may have another first down.
What you're going to see the Jets do, Mike, and they've done it all through the first half, and they'll continue to do it in the second half, is they will get in and out of the huddle quickly. Normally, this is a multiple movement type of offense. That's what Bruce Koslett likes, a lot of movement. But because the Oilers present so many problems defensively, you'll see Boomer get out with about 15 seconds to go, so he can get to the line of scrimmage, and he can look at it, and he can make calls of what they want to do against this defense.
Esiason with time, throws incomplete. Mitchell, the tight end, can't bring it down. Bo Orlando on the coverage.
Johnny Mitchell, the first 8 games, Mike, 26 catches, 426 yards, 6 touchdowns. The last 7 games, 12 catches, 162 yards, no TDs. He is really going to be something. He gets off the ball quick. Ball's thrown behind him. I think Boomer in the pocket just is not comfortable throwing the football.
Mitchell gave himself his own nickname. He calls himself 7-11 because he said he's open 24 hours a day regardless of the coverage. Here comes the blitz by Latham. Doesn't get there. Pass is incomplete. Burkett couldn't hold it. Jackson with good coverage. That defense just puts so much pressure on you. You have to make the right decision. You have to make it in a hurry. Then you have to execute.
You know, talking to Bo Orlando about this defense, he said something I think sort of synopsizes this defense. We are now a defense that we're put into positions where we can make big plays. In previous years, it was our job on defense to stop big plays.
3rd and 10. Big play here. Pressure on Esiason, and they got it. They met at the quarterback.
God, I hate that. This is just too many people. You got all those people coming up the middle. You can't block them one-on-one. Childress does a terrific job of running a little twist. Montgomery pulls his man aside. Childress takes the straight path to the quarterback.
Childress with his 7th sack of the season, and for the down line, 37 this year. Another bad snap to Aguiar, who hits a line drive kick. Drury lets it go, and it makes the end zone. A punt of 60 yards for Aguiar, but a net of 40.
I was in town for business, and thanks to the rental car, I have time to stop by the old neighborhood. The place hasn't changed a bit.
Room for one more? Can't be the shoes.
Want to visit your old neighborhood? Rent from Dollar. They're right on the airport, right on the money.
Hey, it's got to be the shoes, right?
Nope, it's the rental car.
Call Dollar, the official car rental company of the NBA.
Every day in 34 countries and over 300 cities, Delta Airlines takes off to the world of facts and figures, budgets, and bottom lines. And when the job is done, we bring you back to the world of mommies and daddies, boyfriends, girlfriends, and best friends. Delta Airlines.
It's just a car.
Yeah, right. Top Stadium Club. It's extreme intensity. Extreme design. It's taking chances. It's Beam Team. It's a radical point of view. If you want to feel the game like this, you can't go just anywhere. You gotta go to the extreme. Top Stadium Club. It's extreme.
The Houston Oilers in total command, at least on the field, 17-0 with 7:28 to go third quarter. The sideline in somewhat of disarray.
Well, you wouldn't think that the Houston Oilers are playing this game just as a last game of the season. They're playing this with a lot of intensity.
Carlson takes over at the 20. Incomplete, intended for Wellman. Let's go back to that last Oilers sack.
I'll talk about the linebackers blitzing. Everybody on this defense is aggressive, and what they do is they create problems. There's the center, Sweeney. Now you've got the right guard, Dwayne White, and Malamalo over here. They're responsible for Childress and Montgomery. Montgomery's going to block, and Childress is going to come around real quick, and he's going to be clean. It's not Sweeney's responsibility. What happens is there's Sweeney. He's not looking. There's Dwayne right there. He doesn't see it. He gets off too late. By the time he looks for Childress, Childress already has Boomer.
2nd and 10. Carlson stopped from behind. Loggeman got there, and underneath Marvin Washington. 4 sacks for the Jets.
Jeff Loggeman, number 56, is just doing a job on Brad Hopkins. He's beating him inside. This time he comes around the corner, beats him outside. But I have to say, in that instance, Hopkins did give Carlson enough time. The defensive secondary didn't give him any place to go with the football.
Loggeman with a sack and a half tonight. His season's total up to 7.5. 3rd and 19 for the Oilers. They hit a 3rd and 20 earlier in the game. Screen to Brown. And the Jets do a beautiful job in defending the screen, especially Mo Lewis. And Cody Carlson slow getting up. And Bucky Richardson may go back and look for the hard hat.
Loggeman comes around. This time what he does is he sort of lulls Hopkins to sleep this time. It's one of those down low, up top jobs.
Montgomery to punt out of his end zone. Clifford Hicks waits at his own 45.
That's good. He can kick this 100 yards.
He might. Off the side of his foot. So the Pro Bowl punter for the AFC shanks one out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it. At the 37-yard line. It's a punt of 25 after his first one went over 60.
Bob Hastings Ford is ready to lease you a new F-150 or Ford Ranger with a no-charge bed liner. For a limited time, lease a Bob Hastings Ford F-150 truck with stereo cassette, driver's side airbag, power windows and locks, plus lots more for just $229 a month with $1,500 cash down. Or how about a Bob Hastings Ford Ranger? Power steering, stereo cassette, and more for only $128 a month with $1,500 cash down. Or for 1 week only, buy a Bob Hastings Ford F-Series truck and get incredible 2.9% financing. Hurry, offer ends January 3rd.
Bob Hastings Ford.
Let's do it. Quality exercise equipment is all we sell. Fitness Outfitters, that's who we are.
At the last minute, we decided to take a great family vacation.
Dad, don't forget to tell them that we're going to Disneyland on the way home.
Okay. And tell them you're taking me scuba diving. Oh, tuna of the sea.
Okay, you guys. I'm going to have to record this message all over again. Hi. You've reached the Fosters. Happily, there's no one here to answer your call. We're in Maui.
If you're really serious about living the good life, Essex.
Greg Montgomery, an uncharacteristically poor punt, only 24 yards. And there's his special teams coach, Greg Williams, after what's happened on the sideline. He may have been looking over his shoulder for Buddy Ryan to come after him. What a bizarre evening in Houston.
You know, this is the kind of a season where a team comes out winning the championship in spite of itself.
It certainly is now. The Jets with great field position. They have to start taking advantage. Esiason throws incomplete. Jackson with excellent coverage on Carpenter.
The Jets have got to try and go down the field. The cornerbacks are sitting on their wide receivers. Esiason has run one play-action pass tonight, and it was for a 20-yard gain in the last series. He's got to get back deeper, and he's got to put the ball down the field.
Here's Rob Moore. He is their best deep threat out for the night with a foot injury. Here comes the pressure. And Johnston lunges forward to about the 33-yard line. I would have to think, Joe, they might be in 4-down territory right now.
Getting close to it. Ray Childress is a guy that makes a play. Watches the ball. Look at him get off the ball. Reads the block, just pushes right to the side, comes back and makes the play. This defense, as soon as a back starts one way, the entire defense just flows, and they have such great team speed that if a guy cuts back, somebody's there to get him.
Well, you know what I think about Childress? I think he's the best. 3rd and 7, Blair Thomas into the lineup. They'll go with a draw to Johnson. And he stopped at the 32. Sort of a strange call down by 17, 3rd and long.
Yep. Unless you're going to go for it on 4th down, which I think he's going to do anyway.
Even if you are.
Well, you try and get it shorter. You want to get in. See, they've got packages. The Jets, if anything, have great packages in a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 area. They feel like they can convert that against the defense.
4th down, and they're out to go for it. Thomas has to come up to Esiason to get the signal count. The season may ride on this play for the Jets. Blitz. And Esiason is sacked. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage. And the Oilers may have been offside.
Looked like they started in the backfield.
Illegal formation. Offense. The tight end was covered. The penalty is declined. First down.
It's against the Jets, and they turn the ball over on down.
I don't think the Jets, as a football team, are prepared for the pressure of this kind of a game.
Ray Childress and his defensive unit make the stand.
Isn't it strange that people spend 5 days a week trapped inside an office, only to spend their weekends trapped inside a fence? Presenting the 1994 24-valve 175 horsepower rodeo. It can take you where you won't feel boxed in. Isuzu, practically amazing.
Interpretation of the original.
Now for the Levi's Loose Jeans Player of the Day.
Player of the Day in the game of the year. Emmitt Smith ran for 168 yards for the Cowboys against the Giants, caught 10 balls for 61 yards. All this with an injured shoulder. He wins his 3rd straight rushing title, only the 4th man ever to do that. Mike and Joe.
Chris, he was a warrior today, wasn't he?
Not only that, he spotted everybody 2 games.
That's right.
I think that's what people lose sight of. And won it anyway. Spotted them 2 and won it anyway. Congratulations, Emmitt. You are something special.
Ray Childress going to another Pro Bowl off that Houston defensive line. Of course, there have been a lot of teams throughout history that have battled among each other and been very successful. The A's with Billy Martin, the Yankees with Billy Martin, the Yankees with Billy Martin several times.
But a couple years ago, I think the Buffalo Bills have had some coaches who had disagreements.
But I have never seen coaches take a swing at each other on the sideline. Brown, flag is down, and so is Brown short of the 40-yard line. The thing about Buddy Ryan is that he is acknowledged as a brilliant defensive coach.
He is.
But just being great at what you're doing is no excuse for that kind of behavior. None.
Holding 77, offense, still first down.
That's on Kevin Donnelly. Of course, Buddy has made no bones about the fact that he wants to be a head coach in this league. He doesn't want to be an assistant again.
He has to be a head coach.
But do you hire, if you hire a Buddy Ryan, you get a proven commodity, but you get the baggage that goes with it.
There is no other coach but Jack Pardee in the National Football League that could have Buddy Ryan as an assistant on his staff.
Well, it wasn't exactly Jack's choice.
Yeah, but there isn't anybody anyway.
That's true. Carlson chased out of the pocket, throws behind Brown, and the Jets trying to apply some more defensive pressure. Lageman was in there. Jack Pardee criticized for not being an emotional person, and yet when the Jeff Alm tragedy came up, he was praised by the same people who had criticized him earlier for exactly those same qualities, his stability, emotional.
And this organization, particularly in this year, has needed his stability. I think he's been in 5 Hall of Fames. He's won Coach of the Year in every league and every level he's coached at. This is his greatest coaching job ever.
He's done a wonderful job. 2nd and 20 for the Oilers. 4:09 to go third quarter. Brown on the draw. Great stutter step. He'll pick up a couple in the 32. Piquel makes another tackle. He's been very active tonight. Let's update you on the AFC playoff picture. Buffalo gets a first-round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They will go against the lowest-seeded wild card winner. The Oilers also get the first-round bye. They will play the highest-seeded wild card winner. Denver at L.A. Sunday at 4 o'clock. That is a definite match. Now here's the only thing left. The Jets or Pittsburgh at Kansas City next Saturday. The Jets have to win to make it. If they don't, the Steelers will go to Kansas City. And Carlson, blindsided, loose ball, picked up by the Jets. Let's see what they rule. Obviously, the ground did not cause the fumble. Carlson was hit from behind. And they're going to say the Oilers got it back.
Well, the ball's on the ground. Pete Carroll says, how can that happen? Right side of your screen, Cody sets up. Here comes the blitz. That's a good call by the official. Good call by the official. Ball hits the ground. Ground comes out. Ball down where it hit.
4th and 23. Montgomery. The kick to Clifford Hicks. Long line drive. Hicks from the 22. Just turned his back to the defense and got out to the 34. Return of 12 after a punt of 53. Rod Woodson has been with us all night. And Rod, a lot of people around the league, after you dismantled Buffalo on that Monday night game, put the crown on you guys as the next great team in the AFC. What happened since then?
Well, I think that's the worst thing that could happen to us. I don't think we played with emotion over the last 6 or 7 games. And with that, we feed off that. And when we don't play with emotions, we don't play well. And, today we did. And hopefully we'll get to Kansas City this weekend.
All right, Rod, thanks. Right now, your chance is looking pretty good with the Oilers up 7-0. Should have had a pulse monitor on them all night long. Esiason play action. Deep sideline incomplete. Mitchell was covered by the linebacker Wilbur Marshall and couldn't get by him.
Yeah, but that's what I think they have to do. I think the play action will at least slow down the linebackers as they blitz to think that they might make a tackle and then allow them to get the ball down the field. Best way to keep a tight end on the line of scrimmage is to engage him like Sean Jones did. He just doesn't allow him to get down the field until Wilbur Marshall can pick him up a few yards down.
Boomer has hit only 8 out of 20 for 60 yards. He's got to get hot and in a hurry. Throws it, picked off by Jackson. Jackson with a chance. Touchdown. There's a flag down on the play back at the 30-yard line. The pass sailed on Esiason, and this will be a penalty on the run back. So Houston will keep the ball on the interception.
This one just gets away from Boomer. He's thrown it high to the left all night. Every throw he's thrown to the left has been high, and this one's going to get away from him. Left part of your screen. Not a lot of pressure this time. He just sails this thing, and it just sailed on him. Winds up getting up high. Nice job by Jackson making the cut off of Boomer. Good effort. But they're going to wind up with the clip.
Jackson's 5th interception of the season for an opportunistic defense. The clip will take it all the way back to the 43-yard line. And Boomer trying to find an answer or two on the phone. Sometimes the answer isn't at the other end of that line.
But yeah, the other thing, too, that I've talked to the guys on defense about is, and Jack Pardee said it, by being more aggressive up front, it's allowed their defensive backs to take more chances and cover people a lot tighter, too.
2:41 to go third quarter. Carlson throws incomplete, intended for Wellman. He went in, the ball went out. There's a flag down, back in the line of scrimmage. And the Oilers will be flagged for holding again.
What happens so much against the Buddy Ryan defense is he may not sack you all the time, but he's going to pound you. There's the heat on Esiason. 3 sacks, 11 knockdowns, 8 hurries, 1 batted pass, and 1 interception. That becomes very unnerving through the course of a football game for a quarterback.
Boomer has yet to win a game in his illustrious career at the Astrodome, and right now his chances don't look good for this one, down 17-0. After the penalty, it is 1st and 20, and all he can do is shake his head. Carlson against the 4-man rush, throws complete to the sideline. Duncan makes the catch just shy of the first down. A gain of 19. Carlson has thrown the ball well tonight.
Well, and this is a muscled throw. This is all arm. And it gives you an idea how strong an arm he has. He just wings this thing, and it's perfect. Dunk doing a great job of concentrating, keeping his feet in, and giving him a 2nd down and short.
Duncan made the Pro Bowl for the first time in his career last year, caught 82 balls, has less than 40 this year. 2nd and 1. Play clock at 1, and they just got it off. Carlson throws complete, first down to the 20-yard line. Pat Coleman gets his first catch. Had his first career start a week ago.
And it's interesting, you're starting to hear names that are starting to jump up for this Oiler receiving corps that you don't necessarily hear. Pat Coleman, Gary Wellman having just a career night.
Tony Jones
trying to get the ball to him. Kevin Gilbride trying to find some combination or a couple combinations that he can use in the playoff.
This is the number 3 pass offense, the number 3 total offense in the NFL. Another first down for the Oilers, who have been extremely impressive again tonight. Brown on the draw. Tried to spin out of a tackle and couldn't do it.
Interesting offense here, Mike. What they can do offensively is Kevin Gilbride runs the run and shoot, but he is not married to. I mean, he's coached in other systems. He's just taken what Jack Pardee has been familiar with at the University of Houston and made it better and refined it and a bit more intricate. And he has, obviously, the weapons in place to be able to execute it very proficiently.
Gilbride is an outstanding offensive coach. Always has been. 2nd and 10 for the Oilers. The Jets need to hold them to a field goal, if nothing else. Carlson steps up, gets it to Brown. Clifton got a piece of him, and Mo Lewis finished him off at the 17.
Off at that 57. 4 yards on the bad play. Carlson, the foul. We're coming up on the end.
Boomer staring out at the field as the third quarter clock ticks away.
As do the playoff hopes for the Jets.
At the end of the third quarter, the Oilers on top, 17-0.
It began as a friendly game. Then it took on a life of its own. Changing the way you look at football and beer. But if you think you've seen everything, just wait. You haven't. Grab a ticket wherever you buy Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry. You could win $1 million. Bud Bowl 6. It's gonna blow you away.
Recently, Jim Holland made the longest ski jump in history. He stayed in the air for 30 minutes and flew the equivalent of 36 miles. This incredible jump took place in a wind tunnel, and it was all part of an off-season training program for the U.S. ski team made possible by Visa and its card holders. Visa, the only card that helps train these athletes and the only card accepted at the '94 Winter Olympics, where Jim Holland hopes to make the second longest ski jump in history.
What kind of company would be responsive enough to make consumer loans in as little as 24 hours? Or develop low-cost life insurance for people over 15? Or make quick enough decisions to take advantage of changing times? At Transamerica, we may have a strong financial base, but we're very lean at the top.
Welcome back to Houston, and here to ring in the new year with his playoff predictions, our friend Ross Perot.
Ross here to give you the bottom line on the big enchilada, Super Bowl 28, and what two teams are going to get it done. Here's the deal. New York Giants. Sorry, LT, you just bogeyed a team. The Bills? Real simple. Been there, ain't done it. Thurman, don't bother finding your helmet. What about Montana and Young for all the marbles? Some call it the dream matchup, but no Disneyland for these two. Folks, this old Texan's calling for an all-Texas shootout. Jimmy's Cowboys draw Warren Moon and the Oilers. Just like Sherman, these two will march into Atlanta. You can put that in the bank. Mike, see you in Hawaii.
All right, Mr. Pro.
Your buddy.
Can't see him with a Hawaiian shirt, though, can you? Flag is down. Brown on the screen. Got a great block. Touchdown. Now we'll check the penalty. Bruce Matthews threw him a hellacious block to spring the touchdown. But it's coming back.
Illegal motion. The wide receivers weren't set before the ball was snapped.
Gary Brown gives them more flexibility because he can break plays.
87, offense. Still third down.
That's Pat Coleman.
The inside receiver, watch him move just before the ball is snapped. There's the movement. Look at the great job Gary does setting this block up, though. I mean, he just cuts inside and weaves and sets up blocks absolutely perfectly.
Matthews just buried Kyle Clifton. 3rd and 11 after the penalty. Comes the blitz. Carlson unloads, complete to Duncan. Duncan gets away and got very close to another first down. He slipped 2 tackles, including one by Ronnie Lott. This will be close. And, of course, the fans are now chanting go.
And the Jets try and blitz. Carlson reads it perfectly. I mean, it's really tough to stand on the sidelines as a quarterback, and when people are throwing blitzes at you and a lot of adjustments that game experience helps you with to be able to execute. And Cody Carlson has done a great job tonight of executing.
The Oilers got a very favorable mark. on that play. You could see Duncan had his back to the 10-yard line. He wasn't anywhere near it.
As good as Jack Party's defense is playing, you may as well go for it. Gary Brown is just a great back to get him the ball. I would hate to see what happens if the Oilers decide to throw the ball here, though.
Of course, even if you don't make it, you leave them 90 yards away with an offense that hasn't moved the ball all night anyway.
That's the point. I mean, you make decisions like this based on not how successful your offense can be, but how well your defense is playing.
4th and inches. Carlson, quarterback keeper. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And where they mark it, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, he got it. He got it. Hey, it's the last game. I got a chance to make a prediction.
May have bobbled the snap. And now the Jets jawing at the officials where they're marking the ball. And Ronnie Lott pleading his case. The official from the near side appeared to have marked it short. The far side official came in and appeared to mark it the length of a football inside the 10.
Well, when it was on the line, it only needed 6 inches, so obviously it's well past the line, and it'll have the first down.
And it is the first down, and Lott has to be restrained. It all depends, left foot or right foot, huh?
Cody doesn't really get a clean snap. Jets get a good jump off the line. Now it's just a question of how far you can move the ball when everybody's on top of you.
Well, Buddy wasn't watching that one. 4th and inches. Back to live action, and Houston just working on the clock. There's another flag down. 14 minutes to go in the ballgame. It's 17-0. And this will move them back 10 yards.
Holding, 74, offense. Still first down.
That's Matthews, the all-pro center.
Left part of your screen. He gets Mercereau, drags him down with that left hand. Once you grab a piece of cloth, the officials allow you to get rid of it real quick, but if you hold on to it for any length of time, they'll throw the flag. All world at every position.
He's tremendous.
Best offensive lineman in football.
Carlson, play action. Over the middle, almost picked off by Clifton.
59 Clifton.
Man who has gone over 100 tackles in every year he's played except for the strike season.
You'll see him right here. He doesn't really buy the play action fake. He jumps right back in the middle. Little hesitation. Now just jumps back, gets up with his right hand. Coleman was right there. This is a nice play by Clifton.
Last week, a forced fumble, an interception, and 17 tackles for Kyle Clifton. That was against Buffalo. Had a sensational game. 2nd and 19. Carlson with all day to throw. Picked off. Washington with the interception at the 10. The Oilers turn it over with 13:26 to go in the game. The Jets still alive.
With full confidence, I submit to you an affordable economic package.
Senator, this will cost only $10.99.
$10.99.
This man's an idiot.
I'll say it again.
Somebody call security.
$10.99.
What could anyone possibly get for $10.99?
I'm glad you asked.
Bigfoot Pizza from Pizza Hut with that special crust delivered for only $10.99.
Hey, Dad, who's going to sponsor this bill?
Bigfoot Pizza, a legendary value.
In the year 23,012 BC, Lenny, the traveling salesman, rented the first big round wheel from Thrifty at a nice small rate. Today, Thrifty Car Rentals still offers historically low rates and now on nice big cars with 4 wheels. Simply check your phone book for the Thrifty location nearest you. Renting wheels at low prices is nothing new to Thrifty. In fact, we invented it. Your neighborhood Thrifty car rental, historically known for low rates.
Do you dream in color? In bottomless blues and screaming yellows? In sounds that shake you to the bottom of your heart? In images clear as crystal and brilliant as ice? In faraway worlds as close as your fingertips? These are what dreams and Sony Trinitron televisions are made of. Make one come true for you. It's your life. Isn't it worth a Sony?
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Sony, the official video electronics company of the NFL, and by Thrifty Car Rental, historically known for low rates.
13:26 to go in the game. The Jets need to win to get in the playoffs. They need 17 points to tie. Johnson and Thomas are in for the Jets. Siason to Johnson. He fumbled. And the Jets got it back at the 19. Mathis made the recovery.
And Bishop made the hit.
Here's the scoring the last 5 games. Look on the right. They've only got 14 points in that Buffalo game. That was their high. Here's Mitchell, the huge tight end who can fly. Dishman tried to strip it, but he's all the way down inside the 40-yard line. A gain of 42, the first big play the Jets have had tonight.
And I think what they're doing is they're going to a hurry-up, and they're really not allowing the Oilers to get set with what they want to do. You stand at the line of scrimmage, they're going to come at you.
Boomer for Johnson in the flat. There is a flag down on the play. When you played against Buddy Ryan's defense, would you have wanted to have been in a hurry-up? I know you didn't want to be out there in the first place.
I didn't want to be out there in the first place, but no, as a matter of fact, what we did is...
illegal motion, 75, offense, still first down.
We wanted to go with 2 tight ends. And the reason why we wanted 2 tight ends is we felt the offense or the defense lends itself to be run against if you can dictate a little bit more to them. By having 2 tight ends, it's tough for them to go with 2 linebackers or the true 46 defense, and you balance them up a little bit more.
Johnson on the delay. Childress hit him first and hangs on till he gets help. Blaine Bishop comes up from the secondary to finish him off.
Joe Gibbs was a master at going against Buddy Ryan when he was in Philadelphia and their 46 defense. They always managed to get big plays out of their offense. This is something the Jets have not been able to do tonight.
2nd and 14. Childress with another sack and a fumble. Houston has it. Sean Jones with the recovery. Childress gets another sack, and Bruce Coslett can only raise his hands to the sky.
They're going to come a little bit late this time. They don't show it right away. Now it's Al Smith up the middle. That means that you have to try and block people one-on-one. And you just don't see it. There's Childress. He just doesn't get blocked. Malamala just never comes down to block him.
Bucky Richardson. That's the cheer. The former Texas A&M star. And it is. And he hands off to Gary Brown. Breaks the tackle to the Jets' 48-yard line. Fraze makes another tackle. Richardson, an outstanding athlete, came here and played on punt coverage teams. Sprained an ankle in the first game, and they said, look, if you're going to be a quarterback, you're not going to go out there and get yourself hurt on special teams. You're going to be a quarterback.
Yeah, I understand that. I only turned punts for 2 years.
Richardson to throw for the first time. Under pressure, got rid of it, complete. Jeffries with the catch. Marvin Washington coming from behind. No, they said Jeffries was bobbling the ball at the sideline. So Bucky Richardson's first pro pass will not be complete.
Bucky just barely gets this one off. Marvin Washington puts a lot of pressure on him. Still manages to get to the sidelines. And he never had 2 feet once he finally got control. And Haywood just continues to fight the ball.
Back to your point, Joe, the ball comes right to his body. He's not catching it with his hands at all.
He has no confidence in just reaching out and grabbing it.
And here's the veteran receiver doing it. And they'll whistle this one dead. Play clock ran out on Bucky Richardson that time.
Delay. Offense. Still third down.
That's okay. He's probably going to have to throw again anyway.
An option quarterback at Texas A&M, threw for less than 50%, 14 touchdowns, 23 interceptions. But he is a battler, a great runner, a terrific athlete. And they say his mechanics have improved dramatically in the 2 years he has been with the Houston Oilers. Really had to teach him how to be a quarterback in this style offense. 3rd and 13. Here comes the blitz. And he won't get away from this one. Washington gets the sack. Big night for Marvin Washington from that defensive end spot. Welcome to the NFL.
Well, this is what Bucky wanted. You know, and talking to him Friday at practice, he was all jacked up and excited, thought he'd have a chance to play. I talked to Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator. He's going to limit the things that he's going to have to do in this offense so that he can enjoy a little success. Run some play action passes, maybe just work one side of the defense so he doesn't have to stand back and scan it all.
Montgomery to punt to Hicks. Time becoming a big factor now. 10:45 to go in the game. High floating kick. Hicks signals fair catch and makes it at the 19-yard line. Punt of 42, no return. The Oilers still on top, 17-0.
How do you make the best-selling cars and trucks in America even better? Make them easier to own. At your Ford dealers' year-end clearance, get big factory savings on Ford Taurus, America's #1 selling car. Even bigger savings with special lease terms to lower your monthly payments. The option's yours. And with anti-lock brakes and dual airbags, Taurus could save you more than you think. The year-end clearance at your local Ford dealer. Quality people, quality cars.
WPOP for the holidays.
Oh, get a load of this. Yeah. Oh,
How does Quick Fill give you more power for your dollar with high-quality gasoline at low prices? 93.5 octane Super Quick, surpassing engine cleaning test standards. More convenient locations in New York, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. Quick Fill credit and fleet credit with no annual fees or extra charges. And Quick Fill and Red Apple Food Marts for deli and grocery bargains. This is the symbol for quality and low prices.
Quick Fill, more power for your dollar.
Houston leads at 17-0 fourth quarter. If the Jets lose, it means the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the playoffs, and they would be going to Kansas City. Rod Woodson, what do you think about that trip?
It'll be fun. There's nothing to do in Kansas City but play football, so it'll be very interesting to go out there again.
Rod, you have to be impressed watching the Houston Oilers tonight.
They're very talented. They have a lot of great players in their team, and their defense is very, very aggressive, and it's making a lot of things happen right now.
All right, thanks, Rod. Be back with you in a little bit.
All right.
Rod Woodson, very kind to join us tonight. The Jets need something to happen good for them offensively. It hasn't all night long. Esiason to Mathis, and he's taken out of bounds by Dishman at the 27.
Now, there's a case, Mike, where Buddy Ryan only brought 4 defensive linemen, did not bring any multiple backers. He's not going to do that very long. He's not going to allow Boomer to get comfortable. He let him have a little breather that time. This time, I'll bet you he just turns the heat up just a little bit.
Sean Jones with the 13 sacks on the season coming into tonight's game. Lamar Lathan, a wealth of defensive talent on this team. And then with Ryan's system, it's become a monster. Esiason under pressure, and it looked like Childress again. Ray Childress, or Lee Williams, got in there. Mike Teeter, 71, was also in there.
There's a case where they did it with just 4 men. All they're going to do is come up, and all they're going to do is just push this pocket right back in Boomer's face, and it's going to become a collapse. He's only going back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. He's going to have to get himself back quite a bit further than that if he wants to be able to throw the football.
Has to make Lee Williams feel great. He's been hurt all year long after an arthroscopic knee surgery in August, considering not playing unless he's healthy next year. Esiason under pressure again and throws incomplete. Burkett is double covered out there. He had nowhere to go, and Boomer went down hard. Keith McCants, the first to hit him.
You know, Mike, it was interesting. Earlier today on game day, they had a lot of the defensive Oilers. We had a chance to talk to them, and we asked them, is it the system or the players that make this defense good? The players said the players. Coach Ryan said the system. I tend to think it's the system.
Well, I'll split the difference with you. I think it's both. Drury, no place to go, brought down at the 23-yard line.
A good system made great by the players.
Exactly. Back in a moment.
We're going to take your picture. Here we go. Okay, give me a big smile. Don't worry, kids love me. Oh, it's the phone. They want you to smile. They'll call you back. So this guy walks into a psychiatrist with a squid on his head. Oh, you've heard this one. Ow! Funny thing happened to me on the way to the sandbox today. Look, I'm the mouse man. Don't cry. It's just me. It's not really a mouse. I'm dying here. You like French fries? You like McDonald's? What did I tell you? Kids love me.
Strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us. The few, the proud, the Marines. Happy is the man able to find all his sporting goods in one place. Kmart. Like the DP Pulse Strider motorized treadmill with fitness computer and speed control.
.52 to go in the game. It's 17-0. Oilers over the Jets. The Oilers will take over at their own 12-yard line. We had a fight while we were gone.
This
and
just
a 15-yard penalty called against Chris Dishman for a flagrant face mask penalty. I guess he got the punch for free.
Bo Orlando trying to get him off there. The official gets involved.
Well, the official was doing something totally unnecessary. He was holding back the punter. The punter will hold himself back.
Smart official.
Now for tonight's Budweiser storyline. The Jets would be eliminated if they lose tonight. The Steelers would be in. The numbers on Boomer, only 119 yards passing all night. Cody Carlson, whose night is done, threw for 247 yards. And Gary Brown with 52 yards on the ground. Brown needs 31 to get to 1,000. Here's the real story of the night, though. Kevin Gilbride, the assistant coach. Buddy Ryan, the assistant coach of the defense, on the left, throwing a punch at Gilbride in what I will still describe as a totally classless act.
Buddy Ryan will be our conversation tonight on SportsCenter. We'd like to be able to insert one question in the meantime.
I was going to say, it's pre-recorded, so I don't think this will come up.
Get a chance to find out a little bit more about what makes the man tick.
Just because you're a valuable member of an organization doesn't mean you can get away with anything. The Oilers take over at their own 12. Richardson throws incomplete, intended for Wellman, and there's the flag. The crowd wanted it, and he wanted it, and they get it. And it'll be on Lonnie Young.
Pass interference, number 40, defense. First down.
Joe, you have to think right now. Well, let's take a look at this replay.
It's going to be on the left part of your screen. Bucky rolls to his left, going to work one side. Wellman makes the turn. Yeah, he gets there just an instant before. Good hit. Young just got him before the ball got there.
Houston has controlled the time of possession in the second half. They are in total control of the scoreboard. 17-0. Brown tries to cut it back, nowhere to go. Joe, you have to think, as tough as Houston is playing on both sides of the ball and this incredible winning streak they're on, they have to be considered a favorite in the AFC, even though they have to go through Buffalo.
I think they were a favorite in the beginning of the year this year with the addition of Buddy Ryan because it added some toughness to the defense. And remember, they really had Buffalo on the ropes, except for an absolutely perfect miracle finish by the Bills last year. The Houston Oilers would have been in the Super Bowl. And they're going to be a handful for whoever gets there in the NFC if the Oilers are there.
2nd and 10. Brown on the draw. Spins out of a tackle, picks up about 4. Keep in mind that no one since the 72 Dolphins has finished the regular season with 11 straight wins. The Oilers could accomplish that tonight, as well as getting a place in the team record books with their 12th victory of the season, the most by any Oiler team. And so much of the credit has to go to Jack Pardee, who is a man who never demands credit, never looks for it, just the most unassuming, easygoing person you'd ever want to meet. 3rd and 6. Richardson, an excellent runner, has the first down at the 35.
It's just a great situation for Bucky to come into. Everybody in this stadium is rooting for him. He gets out and he does what he does best right now, is run with the football while he's gaining some game experience. Hangs tough against some pressure, does a good job, is still looking down the field to make a pass. I think that's a big key for a young quarterback. A lot of guys just break the huddle, they break the pocket and try and run. He was still looking to try and make a pass.
And he's no little guy either, 6'1", 228. Brown, nothing there. A year ago tomorrow marks the one-year anniversary of Houston's playoff collapse in Buffalo. We asked Warren Moon if he'd like to make the trip back.
I think it would be fitting that if we did have to go into Buffalo, it'd be great that we go in there and beat them there. I mean, that would pretty much solidify everything this season, that we've done everything that we were supposed to do, everything everybody said we couldn't do. And I think that's what it pretty much is going to take for us to get to the Super Bowl.
And of course, Warren will be well rested, did not play tonight with a broken rib.
His arm gets real sharp when he gets some rest on it, too.
2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz. Richardson gets out of trouble, throws on the run. Gibbons with a catch. Washington touched him on the way down. He's at the 31. Beautiful throw.
This is a great throw on the run. And this is a great bit of concentration by Coach Gibbons. You know, coaches that St. Petersburg Shark team. Hangs in again, flushed out. The Jets want to blitz him. He just throws this thing on. Look at this thing. Unbelievable. Perfectly thrown pass. Great concentration. by Givens while he's getting hit.
And if you're a receiver, you know late over the middle, Ronnie Lott's out there somewhere, and Bucky Richardson with a chance to celebrate.
That's just downright exciting for him.
Well, the New York Jets got exactly what they had to have earlier today when Miami was beaten in overtime by the Patriots. They were given a second life, and they have not taken advantage of it tonight.
False start prior to the snap. The right side of the line was moving. Still first down.
Well, everybody gets credit for that one.
I love that. This is a coach calling the play on the sideline going, same thing, Bucky.
The first 10 games, the Jets' offense was on fire. The last 5, they've averaged slightly more than 7 points a game. Tonight, zip. Brown. They would love to see him get up to the 1,000-yard mark.
You know what makes what the Oiler defense has done so impressive is that is a very good Jet line. That is not a bunch of reserves or guys that have filled in. This is a line that's played together all year. They're very strong. They've been there a long time.
And given up only 15 sacks this year, it's a low in the league.
That's right. And that's what makes it so impressive what the Oilers have done on the defensive side of the ball.
It seems like the Oilers got 15 sacks tonight. Been all over Boomer.
Boomer's going to feel like they had 15.
2nd and 11 for the Oilers. Richardson with time. Duncan. Mo Lewis makes the tackle at the 26. Richardson looks like he has a pretty good idea what's going on with that run and shoot.
He's been in the run and shoot for a while, and it's funny when a coach, when you know that your starter's going to sit like Warren has, and you know Cody's got that groin problem. I talked to him down on the field before the game, and I said, "Are you going to play tonight?" He says, "Yeah, I'm really sure of it." And that just raises your level of concentration and excitement.
Should have been 3 out of 3. The other one was dropped. Nice fake by Richardson. Throws on the run. Coleman makes the catch out of bounds at the 10.
That is something you've not seen Cody Carlson do or Warren Moon. This is a play-action pass out of the run and shoot. He's going to do a great job of making the fake to Gary Brown and then a nice touch on the ball for the completion to Coleman. Brown's going to go left. Here's the fake. Nice hesitation, good patience. Now watch the touch on the ball. Right over Lewis's hands. Perfectly thrown. Coleman with the reception.
3 out of 4. 59 yards for Bucky Richardson. And movement up front, they'll whistle this one dead. Looked like Eric Norgard, the left guard, is in there for Mike Munchak, guilty of the movement.
False start prior to the snap. Number 64, offense. Still first down.
And it is the 4-year man out of Colorado.
You know, last week in the San Francisco game, Norgard played the left guard for Munchak. They were without him through the whole game. Of course, Wellman filled in for Slaughter at that time. And Norgard, you know, he's an interesting guy. He benches 500 pounds. And that's the one thing that Bob Young, the offensive line coach, has said about Brad Hopkins. He thinks he has to get about 100 pounds stronger to do the job they want him to do.
1st and 15. Brown on the delay. To the 5. Gary Brown, touchdown. A smile on the face of Kevin Gilbride, a frown on the face of Bruce Coslett, and Rod Woodson can pack his bags for Kansas City because that's where the Steelers will be going for the first round of the playoffs. Bucky Richardson directs the touchdown drive. Gary Brown, 76 yards, only 7 yards short of 1,000. Del Greco for the point after.
This is one of the finest runs you're going to see. They don't have to be long to be great. This is a great run. He does 2 things in this particular run. He sets up his offensive line fabulously. hesitates just long enough, and then he puts the move on Kyle Clifton. That's unbelievable. And then one other thing he does, he has great vision to cut back. Watch those little feet. Dip, 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 bang, goodbye, hello, I'm gone. Now I'll slide over here where the guys are knocking everybody down, and I'll just run in the end zone for a touchdown. He has made some sensational runs. And Buddy saw it, too.
Buddy Ryan actually giving the offense a hand. 24-0 Oilers. 7 yards short of 1,000. This is only his 8th start of the season. A rising star in the NFL is young Gary Brown. And Boomer Esiason has to know it's over. The Jets have blown a couple playoff opportunities, and Browning Nagel gets set to come in for Bruce Conklin. Another time-consuming long drive from the Houston Oilers. This one 88 yards, 5:28, and put it away with a 24-0 lead. They will win their 12th game of the year, a club record, their 11th in a row. Hasn't been done in 22 years. And Jack Pardee is going to get my vote for AFC Coach of the Year. And maybe referee.
Unbelievable job. Unbelievable.
Morrell and Thomas deep to receive. And Del Greco puts another one in the end zone. Morrell brings it out to the 15-yard line. Tony Brown down on special teams, and the Texas A&M star, Bucky Richardson, celebrating his first touchdown drive.
Mike, again, this is where a lot of times a lot of coaches in this league will back his defense off. Sit back, let him eat the clock up. I would find that highly unlikely from Buddy Ryan. All he knows is pressure. He coaches it from the first snap to the last snap.
Browning Nagel in at quarterback. He was the starter a year ago. Has thrown only 4 passes, or completed 4 passes this year in 10 attempts. Numbers for his career. He's got Blair, Thomas, and Johnson in the backfield with him. Nagel steps up, throws deep, incomplete, intended for Mathis. Oiler owner Bud Adams, who will have his birthday tomorrow, getting a chance to celebrate early, but he is going to have some decisions to make after this season. 27 free agents on this ball club, and he had told them when the season began, it's now or never, fellas. With a salary cap coming, you win it now or you're going to be split up and all over the country.
I'll tell you, there's a free agent out there that could help this Houston Oilers football team by the name of Michael Haynes, who's in Atlanta. The unbelievable. Yeah, that speed outside.
Nagel under pressure. Lee Williams with a sack. And now some more pushing and shoving. Steve Pelly Malamala trying to keep pressure off his quarterback. Malamala, a young man from Tonga who had never heard of American football until his family moved to Hawaii when he was 13. And the officials with a discussion with 4:04 to go in the game.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 75, offense.
And Malamala gets the personal foul call. 15 sacks allowed all year. They've given up 5 tonight. That's a testament to the Oiler defense.
In a game when the Oilers really didn't need to play hard, they're already set. They know where they're going to be for the playoffs. They're just setting the tone, keeping the momentum going.
And where everything is on the line for the Jets. 3rd and 22. Williams jumps offside.
That's Mike Teeter, number 71, starting to get into.
You know, we've talked about how great the Houston Oilers defense has played, how great a job Cody Carlson done, how terrific Gary Brown is. I'll tell you, the guys who deserve a lot of credit as a team out here tonight are the officials. They've made some great calls, and this is not anything easy to keep a cap on.
Ball start prior to the snap on the right guard. Still second down.
Oh, and Malamala coming over to argue about the call. SportsCenter coming up right after our broadcast. A day of overtime. 3 overtime games today. We'd only had 3 all year long. Who's number 1 in college football? And our Sunday night... And our Sunday night conversation with Buddy Ryan. Where did that come from? Of course, that is a pre-recorded conversation, and we'll not talk about the right cross he threw at Kevin Gilbride. Pass complete to Carpenter out across the 15 to about the 17-yard line. It will still be 4th and long.
And you got to go for it if you're Bruce Costa.
It is 4th down, New York.
Browning Nagel out of Louisville. Strong arm, a lot of talent, big future.
Nicknamed Wild Thing. When he played last year, he really didn't have a grasp of the offense yet. Made some throws, and he didn't even know where they were going to go. Now maturing and getting better as a quarterback.
4th and 8. Pressure again. Sidearms that one out of bounds. Flag is down.
Going to be a bump against Chris Dishman.
Illegal contact. 28 defense. First down.
Dishman called for the penalty.
Chris Dishman is one of those guys who is going to be an unsung hero as a part of this defense. Everybody else projected as a starter in the defense has been hurt and is gone. He's had to pick up his end of the slack and everybody else's, and really has done a great job. Probably one of those guys who could have gone to the Pro Bowl very easily because of his performance, but his valuable nature to this defense can't be measured even by what would have been a Pro Bowl possible appearance. He has just done a great job.
Automatic first down. He is one of the free agents. A defensive back with Rod Woodson at Purdue. Didn't have some speed, did they? Under pressure, Nagel somehow gets away, but not the second time. And a flag is down.
That's going to be for a face mask. But still, the pressure that's coming in by that Oiler defense is relentless.
Keith McCants.
Face mask. 97 defense. Still first down.
And that's Lee Williams. Keith McCants had the free shot at the sack and missed. Williams got it, but gets the penalty too.
We talk about free runners at the quarterback. Here comes McCants off the outside. Malamala doesn't even hardly get a hand on him. He just comes off with so much speed, and they're taught to be aggressive up front, and they sure are.
Boomer's night is done, and he's probably not complaining about it.
Yeah, he would be. You know, he's too great a competitor. He's just too great a football player.
Well, at this point, there's nothing he could do.
That's right. That's the bottom line.
First down after the penalty, and they'll go with Thomas. Mike Teeter makes the stop. One of the goals that Boomer Esiason had this year to lead this team to the playoffs. The other goal that he has worked very, very hard at is as a spokesman to raise the consciousness and raise money for cystic fibrosis. With his son Gunnar having been diagnosed with that disease, and he said he would be the worst enemy the disease ever had. He has lived up to that promise, Joe. Second and 13 for Nagel. Strong to the outside, complete. Carpenter to the 28.
You know, oddly enough, I talked to Boomer earlier. The FDA approved a new drug to treat cystic fibrosis, which he thinks is absolutely sensational, and has been a spokesman. But he hasn't fought the fight alone. His offensive linemen have chipped in, and what they've done is they've shot this poster called Boomer's Bodyguards, and 50% of the money raised by the sale of these posters will go to research to fight cystic fibrosis. And that just gives you an idea of, he's not going to go to the playoffs, but his class still remains very high.
And those are on sale, by the way, at the Sports Authority and Herman's in New York. If you are interested in helping out, you get a great poster in the meantime. Incomplete pass intended to Carpenter. Jackson on the coverage. You know, we were talking earlier about the Oilers having to be considered the favorite going into the playoffs, even though they have to go through Buffalo. But consider the fact that the Bills are 6-0 in playoff games at Rich Stadium. So we might want to rethink that one.
You know, the Buffalo Bills over the last 3 years, each year it seems like the first year they were dominant. The next year they weren't quite as dominant. Last year, you know, they squeaked one out against the Oilers. This is a year that I think they're going to have to play their best football if they want to continue on.
Loose football recovered by the Oilers in the end zone as Aguiar just kicked the dickens out of one. And the Oilers will have the ball at the 20-yard line on the touchback. I love the Bills' attitude, though. Let's make everybody mad and go back to the Super Bowl.
That's what they want to do. That's what Jim Kelly told me that in the beginning of the year. He said, we want to just upset everybody and go back because nobody wants us there and we want to go.
Of course, the Oilers are obviously going to have something to say about who makes the Super Bowl this year. Take a look at what the wild card picture is. The Steelers will play at the Chiefs next Saturday. The Packers and the Lions will have a rematch. Then on Sunday, the Vikings go to the Meadowlands, and the Broncos visit the Raiders. That is the wild card picture for the weekend.
2 of those 4 teams going right back where they finished this weekend.
Gary Brown needs 7 yards to hit 1,000, and I'm sure the Oilers will try to get it for him. We have hit the 2-minute warning. The Oilers in control, 24-0.
Take us to the finest jewelry store in New York.
Mann's, the finest jewelry store anywhere in New York.
Bluesky's TV and video service repairs all makes and models of TVs and most VCRs. Carry in your TV or VCR for a free, no-obligation estimate. Most repairs done in 7 days or less. Free estimates at Bluesky's take the guesswork out of repairs. Just carry in your unit, Bluesky's will check it out and quote you a price. If you don't want it repaired, there's no charge. And remember, 7 days or less for most repairs. Bluesky's TV and video service, 2334 Culver Road near Norton. Serving Rochester since 1976.
24-0 Houston, only a minute 58 to go, and it appears certain that the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the playoffs to go to Kansas City. Rod Woodson has been with us all night, and he is obviously relieved. Rod, what do you think about going? Marcus Allen you'll be going against, Joe Montana. What are your feelings right now?
It's going to be a good game. You know, they have a lot of talent right there, and you know, if we can get in to play with some emotion, we can play well out there. But you know, I think it's going to be a good game, and it's going to go down to the last minute.
All right, Rod, we want to thank you so much for being so kind and sticking around with us all night. Congratulations on making the playoffs. Good luck in Kansas City.
Thank you, guys.
Gary Brown has just gone over the 1,000-yard mark. 86 yards tonight, 1,003 yards. He gets a standing ovation. He did it in 8 starts. A remarkable achievement.
Unbelievable job. You know, the amazing thing, too, is you're the featured back. There isn't anybody else back there. Everybody knows if they're going to run the ball, they're going to give it to him. Oh, a lot of what he's done tonight, too, he's done on his own. They get him through the line, but he just makes a lot of people miss.
Well, that's the design of the run and shoot when they ran it in college so successfully. If you have a back that can break tackles, he'll get those initial holes. And Gary Brown has given the Houston Oilers that dimension. And a chance to celebrate right now. Only the second Oiler in 10 years to hit 1,000 yards.
Lost my brother.
And, of course, the forgotten man on this offense, Lorenzo White, who has been out with 2 pulled hamstrings.
And will also be a free agent next year.
There's Lowe. There's Lowe. 31 seconds to go in this game, and they did a smart thing. They got Gary Brown out of the game so he couldn't be hit in the backfield and lose 3 and lose the 1,000 yards. I've seen that happen. They got Spencer Tillman in there. Buddy Ryan will be on our Sports Center conversation. That is pre-recorded. We don't want to deceive you here. They will not be talking about the fight. And Jack Pardee gets his 11th consecutive win, the 12th for the franchise this year. That is a franchise record.
Mike,
what
it's the first time I've seen 2 assistant coaches escorted out by security.
Yeah, to be kept away from each other. Let's check in with Pam Oliver. Pam?
Okay, I want to tell you, first of all, Bud Adams and General Manager Mike Hollaback, along with their General Counsel, met to discuss this whole matter. They sent people down to Jack Pardee, Buddy Ryan, and Kevin Gilbride to keep their mouths shut about this until Mr. Adams can discuss this. Let's talk to Curtis Duncan now about this. Curtis, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. What was happening in that area?
I think it was just some miscommunication. I think temper started playing, but for the most part, you know, we got it all together, and we just decided to win this win this game as a team. So that's the end of it.
It's a distraction you clearly don't need.
Well, you know, that's something we'll get over as a team and as a family. I don't foresee it to be a problem in the future, and I'm quite sure everything will be all right.
Okay, Curtis, thanks a lot. Congratulations on the win, which is lost in all of this. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Pam, thanks very much. And let me correct Curtis Duncan. It was a right cross, not a distraction. Our final score, the Houston Oilers 24, the New York Jets nothing. For Joe Theismann and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from Houston. Sports Center is next after this.
Debbie, these shots are fabulous. Beautiful, Debbie.
Better than the last time, Tony?
Absolutely. It's my job to make sure people look good. A few weeks ago while doing test shots with Debbie, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told her about Head & Shoulders. You see, regular shampoos merely rinse flakes away, so they could come back. But look, Head & Shoulders helps stop flakes from even forming. See the difference? Yeah, picture perfect. Head & Shoulders turns dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Hello and welcome to The Big Show. Along with Gary Miller, I'm Dan Patrick.
The NFL's 18th week had many things yet to be decided on the field. Several crucial games went to overtime, and we start with the NFC's regular season title game living up to its billing in Giant Stadium.
There were as many overtime games on Sunday as there were the entire season, Gary. The Cowboys have what everybody wants, and to ensure a chance to keep it for another season, Dallas needed to win at Giant Stadium to not only claim the NFC East, but more importantly, secure the home field advantage throughout the postseason. During the week, one of the Giants' coaches referred to Dallas as Pro Football's Harlem Globetrotters, a traveling all-star team. 11 Pro Bowlers on this team. Phil Simms pumped up and ready for action as well. Great play here by Corey Raymond. Knocks the ball away from Jay Novacek. The Giants, great defense on the day. Jesse Armstead cannot get his hands on the football. The boys would settle for a field goal on that drive. On the ensuing kickoff, they test Armstead's hands again. This time, he comes up with the football. This day, Emmitt Smith's day. First and goal from the 5. Aikman picks up the blitz, finds Emmitt, 10-0 Dallas. Later in the second, Emmitt, who completely dominated the first half of this game, takes it 47 yards, but check out the end of the play. Slammed into the turf, hurt his shoulder. Second half, turning point, Mike Horan's punt blocked by Brock Marion. The ball bounces. A streaking Kevin Williams comes up with the ball, deflects off him. Giants recover. 10 plays later, Jared Bunch. 13-7 boys. The Giants would nail 2 field goals, and we went into overtime as Dan Reeves and company regroup. In overtime, they couldn't stop this guy. Emmett again, 10 yards up the gut, setting up this field goal. And Eddie Murray from 41 yards away, nothing but net. Dallas and Emmett, who had 168 yards with 32 carries, picking up the victory. The Cowboys called Emmett's injury a first-degree sprain and separated shoulder. The Cowboys will get a first-round bye. The Giants will host the Vikings. Following the game, the King of Pain spoke.
I played with quad bruises, but no pain like this. No pain like this. Shooting pain or? The pain that I have in my shoulder right now, I can't describe it to you. And I mean, it is unbelievable, to tell you the truth.
He's, in my opinion, the best back in football. And anytime, you know, if Emmett can hold the ball any which way, if he's got to hold it with his face mask, if he can get out there, then we want him out there.
Emmett may already be underpaid. He personally accounted for 40 of the Cowboys' 52 yards on that winning drive. In the process, Smith earned a place in history as only the 4th back to win 3 consecutive rushing titles. The other 3 men are in the Hall of Fame. The Pack and Lions settled the Central, and Sterling Sharp, the countdown continues. 106 catches coming in. The sharp-dressed man breaks the record, number 109 on the quick in. He ended the season with 112 receptions, which warranted even the Lions giving their congrats. 20-16 Packers fourth quarter when E. Lynch takes care of his assignment. 2 TDs on the day, Lynch 115 yards, and the Lions led it 23-20. Next possession for Green Bay, Brett Favre. 4 interceptions on the day. This one into the waiting arms of Pat Swilling. Favre ends the year with 24 interceptions. Eric Kramer takes advantage, looking for the former Bengal, Rodney Holman. 30-20 Lions, and that is the way it would end at the Silverdome. Looks like Detroit finally has their QB. Wayne Fonts gets a shower that he'll gladly take again. This is Detroit's 2nd Central Division title in the last 3 years. These same 2 teams meet next week back in Detroit. And following the clincher, Chris Spielman tried to put this game into his own unique perspective.
It's just a step into the playoffs, gives us home field advantage. Nothing else. I mean, when I look back when I retired, I say, wow, man, 1990, what is this, 93? Hey, we were Central Division champs. Congratulations, Chris. Congratulations, everybody. Now get your butts ready to play next week.
More on how much difference it does make to Spielman and all the playoff participants after we find out who all's in it. Last winter, when the Dolphins finished up in Foxborough, they needed to win to clinch the divisional title. This one was critical, too. But Miami was merely fighting for a playoff spot, with the Patriots playing it like their own personal postseason. The Dolphins have dominated the series, but in the last 2 weeks, they've allowed more points than Parcells' P-Men had in their last 9 games. A team really on the move. Don Shula's simple. Win it, you're in the playoffs. Fourth quarter, the Dolphins were up by 4, 24-20 with a minute and a half left. Drew Bledsoe playing like a savvy veteran with a bullet to Vincent Brisby for 12 yards. He's got time left. He looks to his tight end, his favorite end zone target. Ben Coates hauls in his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. What a bullet pass. 27-24 Patriots. But Parcells, although he was psyched, had left too much time on the clock. Scott Mitchell tried to use it. Under a minute to play. He moves up in the pocket. Whoa, found his man. O.J. McDuffie for 16 yards. Stoyanovich getting ready to tie it and send it to overtime. Check out Mitchell on this play. Fierce pass rush. They got him by the neck. Throws up a prayer. Somehow Mark Ingram was left with enough room to make the reception, get it inside this 10, and set up Stoyanovich from 24 yards out. Overtime, tied at 27. Typical of the Pats. But they rally again. Bledsoe looking like Mitchell, a desperate pass, and it's picked off. J.B. Brown is trying to move the Dolphins into position to win it. Mitchell on 3rd down, scrambling under pressure again. He throws an ill-advised pass. What a stretch by Harlan Bennett, who's got nothing but field ahead of him, but he looked away, kicked it away. The Dolphins did have to kick the ball away themselves. Bledsoe with another chance. He drops way back and fires another rifle pass to Brisby, who coughs it up, and right there is Leonard Russell. Finally, the ball is bouncing the Patriots' way. He rumbles to the 35. They're in field goal range, but Bledsoe wants it all. The rainbow. End zone. Michael Timpson. The Patriots do what's been done to them all season. What a way they finish out, winning in an overtime over the Dolphins, 33-27. Bledsoe, 329 yards and 4 touchdown passes. It's the first time in 10 tries they've beaten Miami. Amazingly, only New England's 3rd win of the 90s against a team with a winning record. The last time they closed the season with 4 straight wins, the bicentennial, when Chuck Fairbanks was their head coach. Parcells was defensive coordinator at Texas Tech. As for the Dolphins, lots of injuries, but it was not lost for Brian Cox, who said with all that was left behind, comparing that is comparing to changing the gene pool.
Well, if my aunt would have been a man, it'd be my uncle. And I refuse to say injuries played a part of it. Injuries are a part of the game. We still had guys coming in, giving it their all to go out there and try to play.
You know, when you have a lead like we had and then end up on the outside looking in, if that's going to be the case, and it probably is, and it's a total disappointment. I can't describe it any other way.
For the second time in his 24 years in Miami, Shula has suffered a 5-game losing streak. And if not for Leon Lett, it would be the longest of his Dolphin days. The Cowboys, that Cowboy may have been the turkey that day, but the Dolphins have been ever since. Even these NFL dormants have figured out a way to win at least once since Thanksgiving. So the Dolphins' loss reduced them to wishing the Raiders would lose. A sold-out Coliseum, 67,000 plus, watching John Elway, who has not had much luck against the Raiders, but threw for 361 yards, builds a 17-point lead, one of 2 touchdown passes to Shannon Sharp. Jeff Hostetler answered. Tim Brown with a huge day hauls it in from 27 yards out. He's trying to rally his team. They're back within a touchdown now. And again to Brown. Just 90 seconds left to tie it. 173 yards for Brown. Hostetler going end zone. Alexander Wright is there. The defender falls down. 310 yards, 3 touchdowns for Hostetler. Ties the game at 30. The Broncos had just 3 points after the half. But could they stop him in overtime? Elway looking deep. He's got his man, Cedric Tillman. 30 yards later, he's in field goal range. Should be easy for Jason Elam, who hit 3 in the game, but hooked it. Wade Phillips' team misses a chance to win it in overtime. Hostetler, with the deepest and most talented receiving core in the NFL, this time finds Ethan Horton. 22 yards. They've got Jeff Jager in position. The game was so even, it was 33-34 possession time to 33-36, but that field goal won it. What do you think, Winston Moss?
Big time! That's Raider football! Tom didn't quit, stayed together, and got it in the end. We got it any kind of way, but we got it. Playoffs, baby!
Yeah, that's what it means. Just 2 seconds separated the total time of possession. 3 points in overtime. It's the Broncos' 6th straight loss in the Coliseum. And despite setting a career high in yardage, Elway is now 6-13 against the Raiders, who have beaten Denver in 11 of the last 13 meetings. They play in the same place next weekend. At Three Rivers, Pittsburgh trying to maintain precarious playoff potential by beating the Browns. That's what Phil Cowher's team had to do, and have some other things go right. Vinny Testaverde, who's been coming on strong since returning from his injury. Check out the concentration from his old Tampa Bay Buck teammate. They hook up again. Mark Carrier with a great grab. 249 yards for Testaverde. Carrier had 118 yards, but it was a lackluster game. Woodson didn't play much in the game, hurt his neck, and got burned on that play by Carrier. It was a defensive struggle, though, at 9-3 when Testaverde felt the wrath of Greg Lloyd, who read his teammates the riot act, and the offense finally responded after that halftime blitzkrieg. Neil O'Donnell, battling injury, found Eric Green for the first touchdown of the game. Bill Cowher's squad up 13-9. Now the defense had to take over. They were up 16-9. Testaverde going end zone to tie it. Michael Jackson with the leap, but he bobbles it, and they'll have to try again. Who does he go to? He goes to Jackson, and that's who put the D in D.J. Johnson. A great snuff in the end zone to keep the Steelers on top, 16-9. The Browns haven't won in Pittsburgh in the 90s. They're 4-20 at Three Rivers Stadium overall. O'Donnell ends up 22 of 39 for 226 yards. He breaks Terry Bradshaw's 1979 single-season team record for attempts and completions. But would O'Donnell throw any more this season? We go to Chris Berman to find out who had life in the playoffs. The Jets' win would put them in. Otherwise, it was Pittsburgh. Chris?
Jets got a 1994 wish list, and it said, have a chance Sunday night to get ourselves into the playoffs. A couple things had to happen during the day for this to happen, but when they took the field against the Oilers, they got their wish. A win, and the Jets would be in. Their mission, should they choose to accept it, was to defeat a Houston Oilers